shack at. The bottles getting nippy up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon. Cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is here. Sorry we started a couple minutes late. My computer just too many tabs open. Whole thing, I could see smoke rising from it. Opening day MLB is here. We have massive card. I did not want to start 4 minutes late because we have so much to cap together today. So much to cap together, and I'm so excited. We have a massive show. I know everybody wants to talk MLB, and we will be talking MLB. We have a hard out of NHL at 11:55. Brizzy's going to come in and cap 2 NBA games with us. Then Jose and I are going to attack the card. I expect it to be at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. I have made 8 future bets. I've set a date for my Toronto Blue Jays futures, June 23rd. They have a very tough schedule. They're in a tough division, but they have a very tough schedule. I believe until June 23rd. Then things start to open up. I've made 8 future bets. We're going to make, we're going to do a lot of work. A lot of work was done yesterday. We're coming off a really good season in MLB. Some of my colleagues had great seasons. I want to be great. I want to be great like them. And, I know many of us probably sitting on 4 hours or 3 hours sleep, but this is what we love, man. This is the shit. So a couple things here that I just want to start with. I'm very lucky to run with this group. I'm so lucky. I'm so thankful. It's so fortunate. I received the gift package from a Brooklyn Funk Project. And I didn't want to tweet it out because there was, it was personal stuff. And the highlight of it was a drawn picture of the 1984 Queen's Plate winner, Key to the Moon. It's beautiful. So many other incredible gifts in this gift package. And I just want to thank you, Brooklyn Funk Project, for thinking of me like that. And it's just, it's like a package that you only get from someone who really cares about you. Like, it's just magical. It made my whole day yesterday. I was just, couldn't believe it. All right, let's get to work here. We got to get to work fast. Michael Kerr says, who likes the Red Sox minus 125 today? Remember, when we're talking about time, 11:55 hard out for NHL, 12:15 hard out for NBA or earlier. There's only 2 games that are starting at 1 o'clock, and I've not bet on any of these games. And there's not a lot of data for us to work with, data that I trust. So I'm going to try to keep it small. But, we'll go where the cash takes us. Michael Kerr, Nick Cason, Sammy Calmer, the Nuke Worker says it's a beautiful day for a ball game. Let's play 2. Not here, Nuke Worker. Obviously, you know that. You probably woke up with snow, -6 here. It felt like -12. Justin McElvey ready to go. Hunter Engelhart, what a great MLB capper he is. Julian Cesario ready to go. Andrew G, Rocco Rogers, Christopher Comentini, Viper MB, Billy Friedrich has a futures ticket on UAB for the whole thing. NIT at plus 1,300. We'll be closing with that. Conor Mac will be joining us. We'll be closing with that. Danny Lopez, Serious Business. Mike M, Razor Sharp Picks says, I can't wait to cap NBA card. Said nobody today. I know. But we still do the work, Christopher Comentini, B-Lab 69 back in business. A lot of our baseball cappers are going to be pumped up. Wine Time Sports, Joey Harb, Namaste J369, Damn Girl Fine, Slatsy 45 says Alex Leon. Who knew? Well, who's going to be in net tonight for the Panthers? Mac Goods? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Bunk Hoots ready to get to work. There's Parl Angel, Troy Torrance, PG 00187. Real Deal Prime, Smoke and Mirrors, Birdie, Die Hard MMA Podcast, AJ1337. Says, can't believe my under 6 pushed last night. Yeah, that was disappointing. I can't believe I pushed an NHL, but I did go for the Islanders -1 instead of just taking the money line because, I asked for too much. Rob Freeze on UAB money line. JP's he ready to get to work. Lil Domo. Great group. Victor A. Bud. Big Ragu. Can't wait to have him join me. Parlay Streets. D. Mills. D. Jenkins. Bo Jackson. Swizz. G. Biz. Marcus Anderson. Mally Mal. Rocco Rogers, Markel, Mo Johnson, Sky Dragon. God, what Dennis Garcia is such a good capper, man. Because I was like, I'm afraid to do it. But, Panthers under 7 and Panthers money line. I was afraid to bet Panthers money line, but thank God for the under 7. Thank God. Thank you, under 7. Big Roo says, let the games begin. Andrew G, Christopher Comentini, Rem Most. Yes, I got in on futures. And it's all he says is this shit's been weird and I have to approve the message. I will approve all the messages, but it's going to be a pain. Alex Hills, Jalen, what a great group. Let's get to work here. And yes, my futures are in, Rem. I tweeted them out. 8 futures. 8 futures I've made, and none on divisional. I'm going over all my past years and my futures, and my ROI is much higher during the season than it is before the season. So, Enough Flush says, you ready for some San Francisco Giants baseball? I'm going to make money. I know you're going to make money, and we want to make money with you. Billy Friedrich, White Sox to win the AL Central plus 235. You're getting a much better line than I'm getting. Okay, you know what, Troy? It's been the same for so long. It's just 2 units for me. So even though there was a time where baseball was not $200, not a full unit. But last year we moved it to a full unit. We had a really good year. So they're just $400. So they're 2-unit bets on all my futures. Almost across the board. It's pretty much a steady thing for me. All right, let's get to work right now. Thank you, Markel. I was, 8 hours of heavy boozing and not eating, so I wasn't at my best, but it was good enough. Let's get to work in NHL. We have a lot of work to do. We have 45 minutes to do it. We have 11 games. We're going to work quickly. I've made 4 bets already. Please welcome the NHL expert here on Thursdays, coming to us from Belleville, Ontario, only place that we are inhabiting that's colder than this. Please welcome Mr. Gogster to the show. Gogster, how are you?
Good, brother. How you doing? Yeah, the snow's just brutal. Can't escape this, the frozen tundra, as they say up here. And great hockey card, guys. Happy MLB season. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Great seeing you guys down in San Antonio. Let's get after this card, Jimmy. I think it's a nice hockey card we got.
Let's go. I didn't find a ton. There's one spot that I just am in love with.
Ooh. Is it a side or a total?
It's a total. And I'll tell you, it's the under 6.5 in the Flyers-Senators game. But that's my favorite bet on the board. I'm in love with it. But let's get to work. Columbus Blue Jackets, 23-43-7, 9-23-5 on the road. At Boston Bruins, 57-12-5, 34-3 at home. We're at TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. Michael Hutchinson is god-awful. I don't know if he's going to be in between the pipes, but enjoy it while you can, Michael Hutchinson, because your run in the NHL is almost over. I expect to never see your name again. I expect to never cap you again unless my man Gogster is capping AHL hockey. 1-3-1, 4.34 goals against average, 871 save percentage. I don't even know if he's in. I wouldn't put him in. I'd look anywhere. I'd go down to the ECHL. I'd go to college hockey. Jeremy Swayman in there. You could put Garth Snow's equipment on Michael Hutchinson. And, this Blue Jackets team has allowed 14 goals over their last 2 games. They've allowed at least 4 goals in their past 12 straight games. Even so, nobody wants the Boston Bruins right now, coasting towards the end of his regular season. Bruins 57-12-5, 34-3 at home. TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. Swayman 26-4. We think it's Swayman. If I have to go,
Hallmark's in.
It is your mark.
Yeah.
Columbus 3-6-1 over their past 10, 31% power play. It's wild. 66.7% penalty killing. Awful. Boston 7-3-0, 13.2% power play, 85.4% penalty killing. There's been a huge move. Oh, I got to do this. I remember I can fix this here. I learned how to fix this. There we go. There's been a huge move towards the Boston, but not that big. They opened up minus 442. They're now minus 470. Ridiculous. Wow. It's just ridiculous. Totals wise, it's opened up at 6.5, juice to the over. There's been a slight move towards the under. The Blue Jackets injury report is absolutely, it's actually gotten a little bit better. It's not as bad as the Habs injury report. Bruins had their 7-game winning streak snapped and 2-1 loss at home to Nashville on Tuesday. Foligno and Hall will be out until the playoffs. Namaste Jay says the Yankees just posted the lineup Take it away for us here, Gogster. I've got no move on this game. Columbus Blue Jackets, Boston Bruins.
Oh, yeah, this is a bad spot, I think, for Columbus, guys. Boston had a bad loss. The whole team was kind of called out there from their captain, Bergeron. I know this is still the end of the year, but they don't want to be going into this playoffs kind of at the bad end of their season. So with Ullmark in, guys, this guy's been money at home since the All-Star break, 6-1. Save percentage 0.95. Like, this is going to be a bounce back spot. So if you want to throw Boston in a parlay, I would do it. I don't see them losing this game. I know it's crazy, the line, but where I'm going to look here, Jimmy, it's minus 120. I still got was a Columbus team total under 0.5 in the first period. After what happened the last game and the Bergeron calling the team out, I don't see Columbus scoring a goal with the best goalie in the league. So I'll just triple check here just to make sure that number's still available. But minus 120, Columbus not to score a goal in the first.
That's a very interesting way of handling this game. Expecting them to respect what Bergeron's saying makes sense.
I've seen it before.
Not score a goal. When did he give that speech?
Oh, yesterday. The other game when they lost their last game there. Pretty much their character. That's not their. That's not how they should. That's not their character. That's not how they look. And to close out hockey games, they lost against the Predators 2-1. Almost got shut out. Scored with like a second left there. But yeah, they're. I expect to bounce back. They did this to the Jets, Jimmy. They lost 6-3 to the Blackhawks. Came back, shut out the Jets 3-0, and now we got Columbus. Might even maybe look at a team total under 2, but that's kind of pushing it for Columbus.
Sorry, I just banged into my Fergie Jenkins autographed baseball. Good luck. A lot of good luck going on. I got the Ski Life, got my Ski Profit shirt on. I'm pulling it all out for today. Okay, it's a very interesting look. We have Birdie on the other side, Columbus Bruins over 1.5 first period, but let's roll on. What was it you got that minus 120?
Still minus 120 to Columbus not to score in the first period. I like that.
All right, let's move on. We're going to keep a very brisk pace. We need to be at MLB by 12:15. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Florida Panthers at Montreal Canadiens. So we got first period over 1.5 from Birdie in both of these spots. This one's fascinating because Sergei Bobrovsky is sick. How sick is he? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. The airport from Toronto, maybe got something dirty happened at that dirty airport from Toronto. I don't know.
Fuck you talking about my airport like that? Actually, I don't give a fuck about the airport. I don't give a fuck.
That airport sucks.
Yeah, whatever. You been to the LA airport? You been to LAX? You want to see a shithole? Here with the Habs, their injury report is ridiculous. And then they go down Josh Anderson. I'm like, God, how do they handle this? You got Kirby Doc, day-to-day, Joel Armia, Sean Monahan's, done for the year. Josh Anderson, done for the year. Paul Byron, done for the year. Christian Dvorak, done for the year. Wi-Fi, done for the year. Cole Caulfield, done for the year. Their first overall pick, Slavkovsky, done for the year. And they're playing good hockey. I don't know how they're doing it. So the question is, who is going to be in between the pipes?
Yeah.
Is it possible Leon goes back-to-back? Or is it possible that Mac Guzda is between the pipes and he's bad? And if he's in between the pipes, I'll immediately bet on the Montreal Canadiens. Panthers are on the second half of a back-to-back after an impressive 3-2 overtime victory at Toronto last night. Florida 5-4-1 over the past 10, 27.8% power play, 76.7% penalty killing. Matthew Tkachuk is not scoring for them, but Sammy Reinhart looked good last night. Montreal 4-6-0, 30% power play, 70% penalty killing. I just don't know how they're doing it. Let's quickly take a look at the line history here. We're keeping a brisk pace. We have a ton of baseball to talk here. And so here we go. Panthers opened up minus 215. They're down to minus 196. So there's already been a 19-cent move towards, or at least off. I shouldn't say towards, because the Habs have gone from plus 187 to plus 176. Is that telling us that maybe Bobrovsky is not going to be dressed tonight? The over 6.5 minus 130. It's now minus 132. This is a huge part. This is the most important part in this game. By the way, last night, Panthers were outshot 40-29. They lost the faceoff battle 34-18. Sam Bennett remains out of the lineup. Habs had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 loss at the Flyers on Tuesday. Billy Brisbane says Panthers have scored 22 goals in their first 3 meetings this season versus the Habs. Wow, that's wild. Brady says, I don't think it matters. Panthers responded to an absolute public humiliation from their coach that will carry over. Florida minus 3.5 is in play. See, I think it matters enormously. But, having confidence is very important in what we do here. Take it away, Mr. Gogster, Panthers Habs.
I do feel like Florida, after that win, Jim, that was a great, comeback win. The save from Leon, actually, in the overtime. If you guys watched that game, Matthews got robbed there by the glove hand from Leon. You know what? I think it's going to roll over. It's not like they're traveling far, Toronto to Montreal. And how banged up Montreal is. The reason I think they're playing so well, Jim, is just you're playing in Quebec, you're playing in Montreal. It's like the Mecca, right? So these guys just always get up for it. Playing in Laval too. It's not a far travel for these AHL players that have been called up. So Montreal here. The only thing is Montembeault, Jimmy. He's 5-4 since the break, but he is 3-1-1. Save percentage is below 900. Goals against about 3. But the issue I have with him here, Jim, is if he does, they go to the penalty kill. His penalty kill, he's 75% power play save. So that's something I'm starting to look at there. So his save percentage on the power play is not the greatest. And we're looking at Florida here. They're only humming at 12%. So this game's tough. I don't have any check marks around it. I would be looking Florida and the over, but it's not a game I want to really mess with. Just a lot of question marks with the spot for Florida.
Well, let's just talk about Mac quickly. Maybe they go right back to Leon. He's French, gets a chance to play in Montreal. I'm sure he'll want to. Maybe they do. But let's just do our due diligence with Mac Guzda, because if you see that he's in, then you'll want to, react accordingly. He's 22 years old, from Knoxville, Tennessee. He was with the Owen Sound Attack. They were bad. He was traded to the Barrie Colts at the very end of his OHL career. He played this year for the Charlotte Checkers, who are, as we know, really good. You've talked about them, for years, right?
They're a good team. They're a good team.
He's not their starter. He went 14-8-3. His goals against average 2.86. His save percentage 8.99. And if he's in net, I'm going to try to. I'm going to bet the Habs. That's all. I'm going to bet the Habs. I just think he's just in over his head. We've got all this great stuff. Kobe Hartman going to be at the Jays Cards game today. We have Moose Money Bets in the house. He's copied and pasted his action. I can't wait to talk baseball too, but let's do our due diligence on the sports card here.
I'll be really quick, Jim. I think he is going to go Leon. They've gone back-to-back with him actually twice. January 23rd, 24th. He got pulled in the 24th game, though. And then 27th, 28th. So he's done it before. 32, then 40 shots against. He's going to get – I don't know if he's going to get peppered necessarily against Montreal. It's not like they have the strongest of teams. So I do think Florida get this done, and I expect Leon to go again.
They're calling you Mr. Ass Slapper because you slap your own ass with the horse racing form. I didn't see you do that this past trip. Why
I was so hungover, bro, that Sunday.
Okay.
I was so banged up as hell.
So you couldn't even slap your own ass.
Yeah, I was barely freaking getting a cup of water to my mouth.
Okay. Let's move on. 7 p.m. Eastern, New York. If Leon is in, French kid Montreal, I mean,
I expect him to go, and I do think Montreal get this one done, Jim. They're only 1 point back of guys Pittsburgh, and if after this game Pittsburgh's going to have 2 games in hand, Jimmy. So this is they're going to at least need to get a point here, Florida, and I expect them to do that.
And shout out to BJ, and there's a lot of you guys on the Lakers. I don't know if all you guys had a K on it like BJ, but I was cheering for you guys. 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up, New York Rangers 44-20-10, 22-8-6 on the road at New Jersey Devils 46-20-8, 20-13-4 at home. Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey. I've got Shesterkin versus Vanacek. Is that confirmed? Okay,
that's what I have. I don't have it confirmed, but that's what I have.
Shesterkin 34-12-7, 2.54 goals against average, 9.14 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Billy Friedrich likes Rangers Devils to go to OT at plus 315. That's a very, very interesting look.
Early playoff matchup here, possibly, correct?
Oh, let's get into that. We'll get it. I just want to talk about the goals, but yeah, absolutely. But they're fighting for home ice. They're fighting for home ice. Rangers and Oilers are playing better than any team in the NHL right now. Right now, over the past 10 games. I know you could say the Kings were, and that's fine. But right now, they have the most points over the last 10 games. Obviously, if they meet in the Stanley Cup final, I'm rich. It's very unlikely. I get it. But they're both playing very good hockey right now. The Devils are playing 4-4-2 over the past 10. Their power play down to 14.3%, penalty killing at 88%. Rangers coming off their third straight win, 6-2 at home over Columbus on Tuesday. They're now just 2 points back. The Devils coming off their third loss in 4 games, 5-1 at the Islanders on Monday. JoJo Rich, baseball's at 12:15 Eastern. So here we go. Let's talk about the line movement here. And we're keeping a brisk pace, JoJo Rich, and it's great to see you, my man. Line history-wise, New Jersey opening up at -127. They're now -129. Totals-wise, 6.5, juice to the under. And at this point, I think the Devils are going to step up here. But I don't really want to go up against this Rangers team that's playing as well as they are. And I think I'm going to have my eye on baseball heavy. And I've got no action here. Take it away for us, Mr. Gogster. We're in the Prudential Center in Newark, Rangers Devils.
Okay, yeah, we got a beauty one here there, guys. This is a good hockey matchup. New York Rangers, New Jersey Devils, Vanacek, Shesterkin. Goaltending matchup here. Just surprisingly, I would give the slight edge, Jimmy, to Vanacek at home over Shesterkin on the road. Just looking at those power play stats, guys. How is the opposing goalie doing when the opposing team's on the power play? And Jimmy, listen to this. Shesterkin's only got a .808 save percentage when he's on the road facing the opposition's power play, which is not the greatest. That's since the All-Star break. And then looking at Vanacek, he's got a .941 save percentage on the power play. So I don't expect the Rangers to do a whole lot here. I think the Devils are going to clamp down. So more I'm talking about this, you know what? I'm going to have a triple up spot here. I'm going to do a triple up spot here, Jim. I'm going to take the Devils money line -130. I know it's a little bit juiced, but I expect the Devils. I know they're 4-4-2, but it's a crucial game, and I do think they're going to win this one, guys. The injury report isn't too big on each side, but the Rangers here, team total under, Jim, 2.5 +125. Devils money line -130, and then the game in the first period to go under 1.5 at +120. A real tight, cagey affair here. The Devils at home. This should be a rocking spot here in New Jersey. But really the thing is here, I expect Vanacek to be on. I know you've said in the past here, and I agree, you can tell when Vanacek's on and off. And a really big game here. And I expect the Devils to get one past Shesterkin even on the power play. Looking at their power play stats, Jimmy, 20% since the break at home, and then 29% for the Rangers on a bigger sample size for you. But then 92% penalty kill for the Devils, and then 75% for the Rangers. So there's much more chance for the Devils to win this game just from the numbers and even my eye test. So I'm going to go with the Devils here, Jim, and the Rangers not to exceed 2.5 goals, and the game to go under in the first period, 1.5.
I think that under first period is very interesting. I was pretty confident in that wild under as well. Bankroll Spence, I did bet your Royals over 69.5 wins, and I almost didn't. I left it off my action, and I was like, all right, fuck it, all right. Okay, so let's just grab it. So you have Devils -130, Rangers team total under 2.5,
+125.
You know, I think your action is extremely exciting here. I like what you're doing. I think it makes script sense to me, and I may tail that first period under 1.5.
+120. I'll see the current line should still be available. Yep, +120 still.
Burn one. You know, it's funny you mentioned that Burn one. I was thinking of you, man. I was like, the game was going into overtime. I was like, oh fuck, Burn one's still alive. I'm not. I mean, I'm live for a push. I still, but I was thinking about you, Burn one. Nice job. Everybody, we're moving at a very brisk pace here. We should get faster than this. But we have a hard out here at 11:55 for hockey, and then we have 2 NBA games that are going to take 10 to 15 minutes, and then baseball. C-Mac's going to come in. We also have Sharpie giving us a pick. Jose and I are going to hammer it. So trust me, I want to get there too.
This is great.
But we capped the card. And this is my favorite spot on the card. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Philadelphia Flyers, 29-32-12, 12-16-7 on the road at the Ottawa Senators, 36-33-5, 21-13-3 at home. Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario. Canada, be honest. It's not in Ottawa. It's out in the fucking boonies, man. It's in Canada. Carter Hart, 21-10, 2.90 goals against average, 909 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Was he part of the 8-player sex assault? We might not know. we might not ever know. Was Cale Makar the best defenseman since Bobby Orr in that 8-person sex assault? I don't know. How would I have any idea?
I'd like to say Formanton, he's playing in the Swiss League, so let's just leave it at that.
Well, yeah, you sound like you know what you're talking about. Mad Sogard, 7-5-2, 3.18 goals against average, 894 save percentage, no shutouts. Cheshire Cat seems to know who is involved. No, he's been doing a lot of research. Cheshire's been digging deep on that one, man. Okay, but we'll get to him on here quick. Mike M says, hammer the Senators. The price is stupid. It's not stupid. The top 2 defensemen of the Ottawa Senators are done for the year. Thomas Chabot. Did you see his setup to Brady Tkachuk last game?
No,
it was spectacular. It was Cale Makar-like. Jacob Chikrin, done for the season. Their 2 best defensemen are done for the season. Claude Giroux mispracticed, sick, but you'd think he'd be fired up to face his old team. It's hard to, I expect him to be in the lineup. Matt Sogard's getting some respect in the media, which surprises me. Philadelphia 5-4-1 over their past 10, but they've won 4 straight, and they're playing tight defensive hockey for Torts. Talbot expected to come back off injury. Is that today?
Yeah, he's expected to come back.
That makes me nervous. Damn it. I would have rather had Sogard, basically. But we know what happens when you miss your top 2 defensemen. You don't get the outlet passes. If you saw the setup he had to Brady Tkachuk, that's not going to happen. And the Flyers are playing very, very, very tight. Very tight. I wish that Talbot wasn't coming back in. But I thought the under 6.5, it's my favorite spot on the entire board. The Senators are going to stop scoring at the rate that they've been scoring. And I know that they're a good hockey team, but it almost makes me want to take the Flyers. This is sharp money coming in on the Flyers. Senators open up at minus 150 at Pinnacle. They open up at minus 160 at Bet365. It's minus 154 now. Let's just see what it is at Bet365. They're at minus 150. So it's been a 10-cent move to the Flyers. And then let's go back to Pinnacle and go do totals here. This total opened up at 6.5 minus 106 to the over. If there's been no movement on this total, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'm on under 6.5 minus 110.
I think that makes a lot of sense, Jim. Looking at the defense here, they called up this Tyler Clevin. He hasn't even played for Bellevue. It came up from a team in the States or NCAA. So they got a lot of defense here that's not, Eric Brandstrom, maybe Jake Sanderson. Those are the 2 guys, but very young. And then also another guy that's out for the year is Ridley Craig. It's too bad. Ridley Craig, watched him in Belleville. Great hockey player. Is going to be good for this, top 6 core. But you're missing Greg. Drew should be in, but no Chitrin Chabot. It's too bad for the Sens. Just picked up Chitrin, and now he's out for the year. So this game, I was looking at Ottawa, but with those injuries, it makes me I'm a little hesitant. The under does make sense more. We're talking about this, Jimmy. Philadelphia, though, they're just awful on the road. They're 1-7 since the break, 6% power play, 64% penalty kill. Hart, I have here day-to-day, should be going, though. And then they're 0-5. Sorry, Hart, guys, is 0-5 with a .853 save percentage, Jimmy. They haven't won a single game on the road all year. So, I do think the under makes some sense with those injuries. Philadelphia is pretty much healthy. Just, connect me to the same injuries that have been holding them back. Both power plays, both goalies' power play percentage, Jimmy, is about 75%, so it's not the greatest. If one of these teams do hit the power play, Philadelphia's done absolutely nothing. So the under does make some sense. I don't have anything on this game. I'm going to hold back on Ottawa, but I do like the under calf you have.
I love it. It's my favorite spot on the board. All right, let's keep rolling. We got to – I feel like Peter.
Brisk pace, baby. Yeah.
Write it down, Peter. 7 p.m. Eastern. Nashville Predators 37-28-8, 19-14-4 on the road at Pittsburgh Penguins 36-28-10, 20-11-5 at home. PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I realized last night, or I guess I realized when the Predators snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 2-1 win at Boston on Tuesday. I realized the mistake in my capping, and that's that with Matt Duchene and Ryan Johnson out of the dressing room, they're a better hockey team. Those fucking cash gobbling, semen sipping fucking write-offs out of the dressing room. They're a better hockey team. And I should have understood that. But with Philip Forsberg out, Roman Josi out, I thought, I thought they were really quality players, and they probably are, but it doesn't matter. Remember what Joe Sakic needed to do when the Avalanche had the best young defenseman in the NHL. He had to get Tyson Barrie the fuck out of Dodge. And it's the same thing here. And that was the mistake in my capping, trying to fade this Predator squad. Also, it was funny. I was talking with Mike M in that Pittsburgh Red Wings game. And Mike M said the Penguins should never be minus 200 favorites. And then I look at the line and, it's minus 210. And all I can think of is Mike M saying the Penguins should never be minus 200 favorites. Tristan Yarry's been atrocious. So the Penguins got Jeff Petrie back. That's a big deal. Him coming back to the lineup helps their power play out immensely. They're still without Ruda and Marcus Pettersson. But the Nashville power play is at 7.4%. And they're still winning hockey games because Johansson and Duchesne. I'm going to edit the horrible, horrible things I was going to say. Take it away for us, Gogster, Predators, Penguins.
So Nashville's really playing like Minnesota, in my opinion, Jimmy. They're playing just that forecheck, get guys in front of the net. Like they're, maybe shots on goal isn't exactly the highest, but their opportunities in front of the net give them, they're just a hard team to play against. Because look, who's Igor Afanasev? Like I'm going to butcher a lot of these guys' names. I haven't seen a lot of Milwaukee games. Luke, Italian lad, Philip Tomasino, Sherwood. They got a lot of AHL players. So this team, it's tough for me to trust. But then you're looking at Pittsburgh, and they're another team that's just, dumpster fire city. Give them the old gas can, Jimmy, because I think this team's about to blow up. Yari's been really bad. Power play save percentage has been, 0.821, not the greatest. Can't get a win at home. This is not a game I really want to touch, to be honest. I was looking at maybe a first period draw, trying to get cute with it, plus 175, maybe, this game to go to overtime, because this is a big game for Pittsburgh. If they do want to make the playoffs here, this is a very important game for them. But, Nashville's trying to make a push themselves now. They've been winning a lot of hockey games of late, despite missing their core players. So nothing on this game. I would lean to the under here, Jim.
Johnny K says, y'all are crazy. He says Crosby's going to eat these chumps up.
Yeah.
The vividness bias on Crosby and the Lightning have cost me a lot of money. I'm back to the well with the Lightning. I've seen enough. I don't want the Penguins at this price. I think it's fine. It's a fine price. Johnny K says off that big upset. Johnny K, they won 4 of their last 10 games. Which big upset?
I think he's talking about
I know he's talking about the Red Wings, but come on.
And he's talking about Nashville, I think, with Boston.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about Red Wings. Okay, no, okay, sorry. Okay, I'm trying to move fast. Let's keep rolling. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Washington Capitals, 34, 32, and 9. You're right, Johnny K. I get it. Look, I get your look. But
it's a much experienced hockey team, like compared to experience here. Like I said, it's an AHL team really with Nashville going up against, a Pittsburgh team that's against the wall. So, yeah.
Did you think about those AHL players getting to play in Boston, now getting to play in Pittsburgh against Sidney Crosby?
Yeah, only thing I would say there is just that Pittsburgh, like they're fighting for their playoff hopes here in Boston.
They were doing that in Detroit. And Birdie, who coached the highest level of junior hockey here in our country, knows a bunch of these players that are in the show, right? Well, in the NHL, I shouldn't call it show baseball back. And he likes the Predators. And he's been in the rooms with these guys who are fighting for jobs. So look, I get it. But I'm gonna move on. I'll cheer for you, Johnny K. I'll cheer for you, and I cheer for Sid the Kid. Are you moving on to Gogster?
No, nothing on this game. Lean to the under.
Let's keep rolling. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Washington Capitals, 34, 32, 9, 17, 18, and 3 on the road at Tampa Bay Lightning, 43, 26, and 6, 25, 7, and 5 at home, Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Kuznetsov demanding the trade. Kuznetsov, now Strome is Ovechkin's center because something's happened here. It's wild. It's wild that he's doing this at $7.8 million a year. Anybody watching what Kuznetsov is doing right now, they don't want him. If the Capitals want to get rid of Kuznetsov, they better take $4 million of that. A year. Charlie Lindgren, 13, 9, and 3, 3.02 goals against average, 898 save percentage. I don't mind him as a backup. Vasilevsky, he could take the night off. 32, 20, and 4, 2.64 goals against average, 915 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Washington 3, 4, and 3 over their past 10, 27.6% power play, 85.2% penalty killing. Tampa Bay 5, 5, and 0, 14.8% power play, 77.8% penalty killing. I just don't believe in the Capitals, and I want to fade them. And yes, this could be the wrong spot to do it. Trusting the Lightning. How much money does that cost me? There was an initial huge move when Pinnacle opened this up this morning towards the Lightning. They went from minus 191 to minus 206. They're back at minus 199, so there's still been an 8-cent move towards them. Totals wise, this opened up at 6. It's now up at 6.5. And I took the Lightning on the puck line. Would it surprise you if for just a few games they showed that they're ready for the playoffs and then took their foot off the gas and rested a couple of players for the last few games? It wouldn't. Spreadsheet play of the day is in. It's on Vegas. There's Deacon Mike in the house. Of course, baseball's back, baby. Rocco Rogers says, I'm with you on this, Jim. Lightning in regulation minus 110. I saw them actually play hard against Carolina. Stopped backing them until I saw that, and I finally did. Confident Lightning team against any. Look, this team's cost me a lot of money. Real deal primes is possible. Watching a spot off the second half of a back-to-back, with travel, with a team where Ovechkin and Kuznetsov, who've played together since 2014, I guess they don't speak. I imagine they don't speak to each other. When is I laughed so hard when Kuznetsov scored the shootout goal. I was like, of course he does. This guy just wants to play by himself on a pond. I'm on the Lightning puck line, and I will pull up what I got. I think I got plus 130, but take it away, Gogster.
Yeah, so this game here, guys, the back-to-back, Lingard's actually, he has not been that good. Not at all. 1-3-1 since the All-Star break, .864, four goals against, one game on the road, allowed 4 goals against. So I was looking to take the under. My only worry would be Tampa Bay just throttle these guys on the back-to-back. Bad loss. I thought it was a good game against the Islanders, tough game. Went all the way to the shootout. So now they're traveling down to Tampa Bay. This team's completely healthy too, guys. So I'm gonna add Tampa Bay, Jimmy, in a money line parlay. They're gonna be one of the first legs here. I do expect Tampa Bay to get this one done. They haven't looked the greatest too. 9-8-3. Vasilevsky has been since the All-Star break. That's not like Vasilevsky. I expect them to clamp down here. And I'm also going to take, I got to take this Washington team total under 2.5 minus 115. There might be a better number out there, Jimmy, but I don't see Washington. I don't see Tampa Bay allowing Washington to do what they want. Especially on a back-to-back that went to a shootout for Washington.
Great work, Gogster. I'm just copy and pasting a couple things, spreadsheet plays of the day and such. So locking everything in here. Okay, let's go back to this, and we got to speed this up. We have a hard out in 15 minutes. Your Lightning, I'm Lightning minus 1.5. I got, get this here. Sorry, I'm almost certain it was plus 130. And,
so yeah. Tampa Bay here, guys. I do expect him to get this one done. Vasilevsky, expect him to clamp down here. A healthy Tampa.
What do you have, Gogster?
So I got Washington team total under 2.5.
At what?
Minus 115, guys.
Okay.
I like that one here, and also Rocco Rogers 2-7 off the back-to-back, and we also got Tampa Bay in a money line parlay coming up here.
Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up for us is another. So.
I like it, Ron.
Look, I'm on the Hurricanes on the puck line here. Why? Why do you think?
I know exactly why. You got Ned coming to his former team.
And I don't think he's got heart. I don't think he has it up here or in here. I think he's both the Lion and the fucking Tin Man. 3-6-2, 3.85 goals against, average 884 save percentage. I don't believe in him. And the Hurricanes are coming off a 4-0 loss at home to the Lightning, and they know that either the Rangers or the Devils are going to get points. You think Rod the Bob Brindamore doesn't know that's going to happen? Red Wings snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 7-4 win at home over Detroit on Tuesday. The Hurricanes have lost 2 straight and 3 of 4. We got to move fast here. Now, Hurricanes power play over the past 10 games is 9.5%. I'm on the Hurricanes puck line plus 120. Take it away, Gogster.
I expect that to be fine, Jimmy. 33% on the road since the All-Star break, looking at Carolina here. No Nostin, Puljujarvi, and Svechnikov, but I still think they have enough to beat this Detroit team. Anderson, too, guys. Save percentage on the power play, Jimmy, which I think is important. 93%. Looking at net at home, 86%. Kason, Zadina, Huso are all out.
My mom's correcting me. Yeah, okay, sorry.
The scarecrow. There we go. That's
okay.
Right. That's right.
Sorry. Keep rolling.
Thank you, Miss Easton. So yeah, this game, I expect Carolina to bounce back here. Jimmy, clamp down, similar to the Tampa Bay. It's funny how you got the puck line, so I'm going money line parlay. Carolina, Tampa Bay. I only got one more team I'm going to add in here, Jimmy. It's going to be a 3-team banger for you guys to close out the show. But yeah, look for Carolina. I see no reason not to take them here. Big reason being here, looking at their penalty kill too, Jimmy, 90%. Special teams are in the Carolina's favor here, and the Red Wings are not exactly a team I want to bet.
Okay, thank you, Biker. All right, I like it. I like where you are. I like it a lot. So let's keep rolling here. Oh wait, let me make sure that. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up for us, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Blues 34-34-6, 18-18-1 on the road at Chicago Blackhawks, 24-44-6, 14-23 at home at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Jordan Binnington against Peter Mrazek. There's some times when I'm capping here on the show and something just waves over me where I'm having so much fun and I'm so thankful and I love what we do so much. And I know we got to get to baseball as fast as possible. Jordan Binnington, Peter Mrazek, Binnington 24, 25, and 5, 3.41 goals against average, 891 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Mrazek.
I got Stalock, but
good. Because but I don't think I can do it. The big thing here is the Blues are missing Buchnevich and Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
Upper body injuries, and that really is going to hurt their offense. And they got Colton Parayko back there, and now we got Stalock against the Blackhawks team. So the money line wise, Blues opened up -148. They're now -139. I don't want to put money on the Blackhawks to win a game, but I was wondering, is this going to be a 6.5? And let me just move over to Bet365.
I'm going to do it, Jim.
Yeah, my first thought was, could this be a 7? What's the juice going to be on the 6.5? It's going to be -130, -135. Take it away here. And shout out to Lucas Ryan for gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. What a great guy. Take it away, Gogster, because I might join you.
Shout out to you, Luke Ryan. Yeah, Stalock, guys. He's a much better goalie than what you'd think, Jimmy. Stalock here, he is 2-1 since the All-Star break at home with a .923 save percentage, 2.85 goals against. Now, he is 3-6 since the break, but he's got a .906 save percentage. And looking at this, Jim, this is a big one for me. 92%, almost 93% when the opposition's on the power play at home since the break. So he's actually more of an under goalie. And then you're talking about the injuries with Thomas and Buchnevich. They're both out of the lineup. They already have an 11% power play since the break on the road, 64% penalty kill. Reason why is because Binner, he's got a 60. Yeah, he's 63%, guys. On the penalty kill, when the opposition's got the power play. So there's just too much going against St. Louis here for the Blackhawks to be a dog.
Sorry to interrupt you, but they're saying that Billy Friedrich saying Mrazek's confirmed for Chicago.
Is that the case? I haven't had that update yet, but you know what, guys? If that's the case, that does make a big difference. Just I haven't actually capped Mrazek, so with that being said, I'm still going to take this one here, Jimmy. This is going to be St. Louis's team total under 3.5. It's at -135. I don't see them getting to 4 goals in this game. There is no Tenorti. At least he's day-to-day. Kyra and Kurashev are also going to be out. I'm butchering Kyra's name, but anyways, there's just not enough for me to take St. Louis, especially with Benner and net. And if there's no Stalock,
likely here and confirmed by other people.
Yeah, okay. And that, you know what? Then in that case, I will hold off. I really wanted to take Chicago, but I'll hold off on Chicago, Jim. But I am going to take the St. Louis team total under 3.5 -135. I'm going to take that.
Blues team total under 3.5 -135. When you said Stalock was in, I was going to move on to 6.5. Mrazek's been a little better.
Yeah, I don't
hate the under 6. I'll still leave it as but it's juiced. I hate to pay Vig and have Mrazek in that. Okay, Gogster has the Blues team total under 3.5 -135. We have 8 minutes and 3 games left. Let's be brisk. Next up for us, LA Kings 43-21-10, 18-12-6 on the road at the Edmonton Oilers 43-23-9, 20-12-6 at home at Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Slatsy says to me a few times over the last few days, he says, we're still alive with the Oilers to win the division. And I don't want to, tell him that there's no Santa Claus. I keep doing it. But if they can beat the Kings here, maybe. Just maybe. I mean, maybe. But they need to beat the Kings here. Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. I have Phoenix Copley versus Stuart Skinner. Gifted Cartel says over. Kings 7-1-2 over the past 10. 27.3% power play, 71% penalty killing. Edmonton 8-1-1, 40% power play, 80% penalty killing. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have Edmonton. So the first thing is, look, I'm heavily invested in the Edmonton Oilers. I do not want to compound losses, especially the Kings who are playing such spectacular hockey and then coming in off a loss. Oilers opened up minus 153. They're now minus 154. I think that's a fair price for both squads. This total opened up at 7. It's minus 112. Opened up minus 112 to the under. It's now minus 115 to the under. The Kings had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 2-1 loss at Calgary on Tuesday. Oilers coming off their second straight win, an impressive 7-4 win at Vegas on Tuesday. Oilers are 1 point behind the Kings, 3 points behind the Knights. Both LA and Vegas have a game in hand, but the Oilers have the tiebreaker versus both, because if you remember, the Oilers lost like 8 or 9 straight shootouts, and I lost my mind 3 months ago. Oh no, I pissed off Biker. Take it away for us here, Gogster. Kings, Oilers, and let's be tight. You're muted, my guy. You're muted. Can we get you back?
My apologies, guys. I got so many screens open there. I didn't want to, say anything. I didn't want to. But anyway, Kings and Edmonton, guys, this is going to be a really good showdown. Both of these teams have not had many losses recently. LA, 3 of their last 10, 2 for Edmonton, their last 10. 1 goals, 2 for LA, 2-1, 3-2, 2-1. This is, you know what, Jim? More I'm thinking about this, I think I could see this being tied after the first period. I really could. I was going to do both teams to score plus 130, but more I'm thinking about this when, you know what, first period draw could definitely be in play just because of the implications of this hockey game. Skinner's been playing much better than the old bum you got in Campbell's Soup. I apologize because, I love Soupy in Toronto, but guy's an absolute slug now. I want to take – No, I expect Skinner. I was just talking bad about Campbell's Soup. Good. Do we
expect Copley?
Yeah, Copley expect to be going in for sure here. His numbers, Jim, no problem with his numbers. Could be a little bit better on the road, but his save percentage on the power play on the road is 92%, which I like. This game, I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to take both. I'm going to take the draw, Jim, first period. This is going to be plus 185. You know what? I'll take a shot with that. Implications of this hockey game, you got 2 of their top goalies. No Velarde for the LA Kings. McLeod out for Edmonton. I'm going to take the first period draw here, and I have a lean to the Kings.
Velarde is a player that our birdie coached, right?
Yeah, that would have been, out of Kingston, Ontario, Velarde there. Yeah, another guy actually, a local in Belleville here. He's talking to me about, just how him and Villalta, he plays for the Ontario Reign. There's a couple other players that came out of, love to talk to Birdie about who he's coached and stuff. But yeah, there's some good talent here. And Velarde, guys, he does bring some offense to this table, so he will be out. Did you know he had back surgery, Jim, when he was like 21 years old? Really young. Yeah. I believe maybe even 18.
Young, I heard.
Yeah.
Soupy dumps. That's what we call Campbell here. Look, I've changed my mind. I do not think Copley's a good goaltender.
No?
I think I've changed my mind. I think I move on the Oilers -1.
Okay. This is going to be a good hockey. I think I really see the draw after the first period. I'm going to take a shot at plus 185 here, guys.
Plus 185. I may move on the Oilers -1. Thinking about it. All right, we have 3 minutes. Let's go quick here. Next up for us, Anaheim Ducks, Seattle Kraken, Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. I have Gibson versus Grubauer. I don't know if it will be Grubauer. Both teams are playing poor hockey. And Seattle's shown a lot of heart this year. Are they going to step up late in the year? 4-4-2, just a 12% power play over the last 10, 79.3% penalty killing. Both penalty killings are weak. Anaheim 2-6-2, 17.4% power play, 69.2% penalty killing. I'd like to touch on the line movement because I did bet this game. So let's move over here. I don't want anything to do with the Kraken at this number. I mean, that's just ludicrous. Just ludicrous. Kraken opened up at -326 and now -357. I mean, that's just nuts. The 6.5 opened up at -111. It's now -114. I got it at -115 at Bet365. It's still there right now. I think goals will be scored in this game. Ducks coming off their 5th straight loss, 5-1 at home to Colorado on Monday. Kraken coming off their second loss in 3 games, 5-1 at Minnesota on Monday. These are rested squads that I think can score. Yes, we will have a Jose for the entire card, Rob, my man, and we'll be there soon. So Ducks Kraken, I'm on the over 6.5. Take it away, Gogster.
I'm kind of on the opposite here, Jimmy. Actually, I'm high on Gibson. His numbers are not as bad for how bad this hockey team is in front of him. And also, you're looking at some injuries here. No Terry, and Zegras is also day-to-day here. So if you have two of those players not in the lineup, I don't know where they're going to get all of their offense from here.
I think there's tons of offense still on this team. Personally,
still on this team. Yeah.
I do like Mason McTavish. Get him out there for 25 minutes a game. Look, Terry and Zegras have brought this team to a 23-41-10 record. And the Ducks are allowing teams to put up 4 and 5 goals against them. I almost took the Kraken team total over, but I think that the Ducks can do enough personally. But I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna trust here with Grubauer too. With save percentage, he's been really good on the power play. Both of these teams, if there is some power play opportunities, I don't see much happening. 22%. You're looking at the 7% for Anaheim. But yeah, Gibson, guys, his numbers are not nearly as bad. For his record isn't that good, but his numbers, save percentage is 904 on the road. Jimmy, he's 3-2-2 with a .926 save percentage, 3.11 goals against. That's just because he faces about 40 pucks a goddamn game. The defense in front of Anaheim, Swiss cheese. In this game here, though, I'm going to take the, I'm going to go on the other side here, Jim. I'm going to take first period under, and I'm going to take full game under. I'm going to take first period under plus 130. 1.5, and I'm taking full game under 6.5 at minus 105. Yeah, because if Seattle wants to make the playoffs, and without Terry, I know you were talking about how Terry and Zegras, they haven't got them anywhere, but without two of their top players there, if Seattle allows 3 or 4 here, how the hell are they going to do anything in the playoffs defensively? So I just don't see this game getting up there.
Nick Kaysen says this is a player prop game. Any Kraken player shot on goal. All right, final game on the board. It's 11:55. This is where we had our heart out. Ron Crawford has given us the spreadsheet play today on Vegas. Vegas Golden Knights 46-22 and 6, 24-7 and 5. San Jose Sharks 20-39, 15, 7, 20 and 10 at home. Sap Center in San Jose. I have Brossoit versus Kakkonen. It could be neither of them, possibly, right?
I have Quick and Kakkonen.
Okay, you have Quick and Kakkonen. Well, they both suck. Vegas 8-2-0, 24% power play, 59.1% penalty killing. Vegas. Now, obviously, they played the Oilers last, and that hurt them. San Jose 1-6-3, 13.8% power play, 83.3% penalty killing. Vegas had their 4-game winning streak snapped in the 7-4 loss at home to Edmonton on Tuesday. The Sharks snapped their 9-game losing streak in the 3-0 loss at home to Winnipeg on Tuesday. That one hurt me, man. That made me just look like an ass clown.
Jets got problems.
That one hurt me. But here, there's been a move towards the Sharks. And, not a big move, but a legit move. And then this total at 6.5, I decided maybe it's because I hate the Golden Knights. I don't know. But also, Shea Theodore is out. He's hurt. He's such a huge part of this hockey team.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I'm not into it. Take it away for us here. Rocco Riders says Vegas regulation plus 100, one of his favorites today. Is this the third of your moneyline parlay?
Oh, shit. My apologies. Seattle was in that third leg of the parlay, Jimmy. It was Seattle, guys. Seattle, Carolina, Tampa Bay Lightning. It's plus 178. Seattle clamps down on a team that's got nothing going for them. Vegas, San Jose, Jimmy. Vegas isn't going to go anywhere in the playoffs, in my opinion. They don't have a goaltender here. Thompson, Hill are both banged up. You got Quick and Net, guys. His save percentage on the power play on the road, Jimmy. So if the team's on the power play, right, 69%. That's not going to get it done in the playoffs. It's barely going to get it done maybe against San Jose. His numbers are good. He's got a 6-1 record, but .908 save percentage. That's on the road. .878 overall since the All-Star break. So in this game, guys, short and sweet with the goaltender and Kakkonen as well, who's just subpar. Reimer was in net for that shutout. They got their backup going here tonight. Numbers are not good. Give me first period, Jimmy. Both teams to score plus 160 in this game here. I expect there to be some goals in this game. Lean to the both teams to score 3 goals as well.
Gogster, first period, both teams to score at plus 160.
That's correct.
You got it. All right, let's review all action. Don't forget, Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today's Vegas. And Brady says, just keep in mind, Oilers and Kings right on Vegas heels. First, Vegas has to win this game. They do. They have to win this game. And maybe it's just a simple move because the -1 line is cheap. Maybe it's just a simple move. Noli knows. I know. Sorry, we're
extra time, Noli. Extra, it's like soccer
here right now. Maybe Vegas -1 is a must bet
Appreciate it.
I don't want it to be, but maybe it is. Okay. All right. Luchase Fox ready to get to work. Okay, so let's just quickly review all action. Jackets first period 0 goals, -120 for a Gogster. Panthers Habs, we are off. Gogster's on the Devils -130. Rangers team total under 2.5 at +125. First period under 1.5 +120. I'm interested in that first period under 1.5. I'm on the under 6.5 and Flyers Senators. That's my best bet in NHL. Nashville Pittsburgh, we stayed off. I'm on the Lightning -1.5 at +130. Gogster's on the Caps team total under 2.5 -115. He's on the Lightning, Hurricanes, Kraken, Moneyline Parlay +178. I'm on the Hurricanes puck line at +120. The Blues team total under 3.5 for Gogster. And I have some interest in the under 6.5 in St. Louis, Chicago. I have some interest in the Oilers -1. Gogster's got Kings, Oilers draw first period +185. I'm on where Gogster and I are heads up in Anaheim, Seattle. I'm on the over 6.5. He's on the under 6.5. He's also on the first period under 1.5. And Gogster's on first period, both teams to score in Vegas, San Jose. And Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today is Vegas. And I might move on the Vegas -1. All right, we got to get off and move on. Gogster, you're a class act and a great friend. Thank you for being here, my man. Follow Gogster on Twitter, and his Valera Open is up. Remember, he's got his golf show every Monday as well, and he's here every Thursday. And follow him at EGO. Let me get this again. Here, I'll have it. Got it. Let me.
Ego47_, baby. That's myself. Guys, be good. Get that cash night for MLB. Happy opening day season, Jim. See you next Thursday, buddy.
Love you, man. There he is, Mr. Gogster. All right, 2 quick NBA games, and then it's baseball until the NIT with CMAC. Let's bring up your next guest, fresh off 2 weeks in the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. A long time. Is he still there? I don't know. He might still be there. He'll tell us. Please welcome to the show, South Jersey in the house, Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, what up?
What up, man? Nice little 2-game slate. Easy peasy slate. And then we get into the MLB, man.
It's going to be fun. Let's get right to work here. Everybody wants to talk baseball, but, due diligence. We capped the card here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Boston Celtics 52-24, 24-15 on the road at Milwaukee Bucks, 55-21, 30-7 at home. Pfizer form in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Boston 3-2, 100.6 possessions a game over that span. Milwaukee 4-1, playing a span of 106.2 possessions a game. The question here is, does Boston care at all? That's the question. They've let go. They've said it publicly that they've let go of getting that number 1 seed. And the Bucks have said it publicly that they really want that number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Bucks can get the number 1 seed overall in the league. Let's take a look at the line history here. Milwaukee opening up -3, now at -2.5. These are pinnacle openers. This total opened up at 236, -106. There's been an 8-cent move to the over. When we look at the cash flow, 48% of tickets and 65% of the cash are on the Bucks, and total wise, 57% of tickets and 88% cash is on the under. Celtics had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 130-111 loss at Washington on Tuesday. Tatum came back from a 1-game absence with a hip injury. He scored 28. So now they trail the Bucks by 3 games with 6 games left. And the Celtics were at home when they beat the Bucks 109-81 in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semis last year. They won't be this year. Pritchard, Robert Williams, Grant Williams are all questionable. Bucks are on the second half of back-to-back after enjoying their second straight win last night, 149-136 at the Pacers. 51 points from Drew Holiday's first 50-point game. Also had 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Giannis for a triple-double. Chris Middleton sat out. Mally Mouse says Middleton will play tonight. Take it away right now for us, Brizzy. Celtics, Bucks.
Yeah, this feels like a potential Eastern Conference Finals matchup. Third and final matchup for these two teams. Christmas Day, Celtics won, and then Milwaukee won February 14th in overtime. The Celtics have historically owned the Bucks, though, 7-1 ATS last 8 games versus Milwaukee. However, the Bucks are rolling right now, making it look easy. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games, and 14-2 straight up in their last 16 games at home. I'm not really scared of Milwaukee on the second half of a back-to-back this season. On second half of back-to-backs, the Bucks are 8-1-2 ATS and 4-0 ATS when playing at home. The Celtics are 0-3 straight up in their last 3 games as a road underdog. There's a lot of money coming their way. I like the Bucks here to win this game outright, despite the despite the Celtics having the rest advantage. I like the Bucks to win this game, but my favorite play on this game, though, is Marcus Smart over 4.5 assists, -170. A little bit juicy, but the Bucks have given up the 4th highest assist to point guards, and in 6 out of the last 8 games, point guards have gone over their assist line by a wide margin. Smart's cleared over 4.5 assists in each of his last 5 games versus the Bucks. So Marcus Smart over 4.5 assists is where the good money's at.
You got it. Marcus Smart over 4.5 assists at -170. Were you surprised that this line's moving towards Boston? Do you think that there's
No. I mean, like I said, man. I mean, the Celtics have historically owned the Bucks, 7-1 ATS in their last 8 games versus Milwaukee head-to-head. I mean, I understand why people would bet the Celtics, but I think the Bucks are just rolling right now. They got a good thing going. I mean, they made it look real easy last night against the Pacers. Drew Holiday had 41 points. And Giannis had a double-double, or I think he had a triple-double, something like that. Yeah. And they made it look easy. I mean, everybody's talking about second half of back-to-back. The Bucks already looked good on second half of back-to-backs. They didn't really play too much in the fourth quarter. I mean, this feels like a Milwaukee spot here. They're rolling right now. The Celtics, on the other hand, we got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I don't know if they're going to be together after this season. They have some bigger picture questions going into the playoffs right now, and their recent form hasn't just been the most inspiring since the All-Star break. So I think the Bucks are the best team in the Eastern Conference, but not enough to put money on this one. I think this is going to be a closely contested ball game. But if you gave me a free bet in this game, I would bet the Bucks money line. But I think Marcus Smart over 4.5 assists is like the guaranteed.
You got it locked in. Let's go to our final game before we break down the MLB card. Let's go. New Orleans Pelicans 38-38, 14-25 on the road at Denver Nuggets 51-24, 32-6 at home at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Each team 4-1 over their past 5. Pelicans playing at the pace of 100.7 possessions a game, and Denver playing at their lowest pace of the season, 95.60 possessions a game. Denver opened up at some offshores at -9. Pinnacle opened it up this morning at -7, and it's now -6. Totals wise, this opened up at 228.5 and is now at 227. The question marks on this one are, is JV going to be defending Jokic? Is Jokic going to play here tonight? Is the question. This is the first of a back-to-back for the Nuggets. They play Phoenix on Friday. So that's the biggest question here. That's the biggest question. Pelicans had their 5-game winning streak snapped, a 120-109 loss at Golden State on Tuesday. They were in control of that whole game, and then Steph took over in the second half. 60% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the Pelicans. And 32% of tickets and 69% of cash is on the under. Pelicans led by 20 at one point. So New Orleans sitting 8th. So they're going to be playing. They're going to be in the play-in berth right now. So they're playing for that. Zion and Grand Theft remain out. Nuggets coming off their 4th straight win, 161-11 at home over Philly on Monday. Jokic had the triple-double. And after tonight, they play 4 of their last 6 games on the road. They actually have kind of a tough schedule to finish off. Take it away here. Saturated says, why am I worried if Jokic sits? I'm worried that Jokic sits. Take it away, Brizzy. Floor's yours.
This is the 4th and final meeting between these two teams for the year. Denver leads the series 2-1 with victories. Pelicans won the first meeting, though, December 4th, 121-106. And then the Nuggets won January 24th, 99-98. And then the 31st of January, 122-113. The Nuggets are a stout home team, 17-3 straight up in their last 20 games at home. They have a 3-game lead over the Grizzlies in the standings. So going into playoffs, health is really their main focus right now. The Pelicans, however, are still in a spot where they need to secure their seed in a packed Western Conference playoff run right now. And even though the Pelicans are 2-7 straight up in their last 9 games in Denver versus Denver, they're coming into this game after blowing a 20-point lead versus the Warriors, like you touched on. But they're 5-1 ATS last 6 games. This is a gamble in the injury news report with Nikola Jokic being questionable. Personally, I think he sits out this game and plays Friday night. And I think this line goes to 4.5, 5.5 towards the Pelicans. So I'm on the Pelicans plus 7.5 and the Pelicans money line at plus 230. And I bet Trey Murphy over 2.5 3-pointers -128. That's my favorite player prop of the day. He's gone over his 3-point prop 12 out of his last 14 games in the month of March and 7 out of his last 8 road games. 71% of his shots go behind the 3-point line, and he's averaging 3.5 3-pointers made per game. With Murphy's volume and the way he's shooting it right now, he looks like the best 3-point shooter in the NBA right now this month, and his 3-point line's only 2.5 at -128. We've been smacking these 3-point lines this week, so I would say Trey Murphy's the best prop of the day.
Over 2.5 threes at what?
-128.
-128. And did you already tweet this action out?
Yeah, I added you.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. So you got Pelicans plus 7.5. What was the juice?
-120.
-120. And the money line you said you got?
Plus 230.
I think you made some. I like what you're doing here.
It's kind of a gamble on the injury news report, but I really think, let's say if Jokic does sit in a hypothetical world scenario, where do you think this line would be?
I think I think it's a big swing. I think it's low. I think it goes down to 4 and it gets
right.
bet. I think it starts at 4, and I think it could go down to probably just 3.5 would be the lowest, I would say.
Like, that's the reason why I stayed off the first game. I feel like you just blindly bet the Pelicans here and just hope you're rolling the dice on the injury news report, because I definitely think Jokic would sit out this game. If you look at the Nuggets rest of the season schedule, this would be the game he would sit out in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'd like to bet this while the show's on, so I will be doing that here.
I'm kind of with Troy Terrence. He says even if Jokic plays, the Pelicans are live on the money line. Yeah, I think the Pelicans are going to come into this game with a little bit of hurt in their heart after losing that Warriors game. I watched that whole entire Warriors game, and I had a Warriors ticket, and it was just like, man, what the hell were the Pelicans doing in the second half? It was like they got punked by the big brother, and I feel like they don't want to get punked in back-to-back games here. This team's rolling right now. Brandon Ingram is playing really good basketball. Trey Murphy looks like the best 3-point shooter in the NBA right now. And CJ McCollum, even though he has that right thumb injury, he's been rolling along. And I think the Pelicans are going to upset a lot of people tonight.
I like your look. I can only get a 5.5, which makes me almost not want to bet it. But
you might as well just take the money line at that point.
I don't know. It's anything
Team total over. Team total over. I mean, the Nuggets on paper, the Nuggets defense isn't the best. We always shit on the Nuggets about their defense here. Maybe that's the one way to get in here is Pelicans team total over and not have to worry about a spread.
I'm getting 110.5 there. I like that look. Okay, we got to move on to baseball, but absolutely great work. Concise, sharp. I like that team total over 110.5. I like that. Great work. Great work, my man, Brizzy. Go get that cash. Follow Brizzy on Twitter. Brizzy, you're also doing a lot of stuff on Instagram. Do you want to mention that quick?
Yeah, follow me over on Instagram, Billy Briz DFS. Bellator 293 and PFL 1, sponsored by Pub Sports Radio. We're going live on the IG waves. I got to tweet that one out when we're going live, probably Thursday or Friday morning, going over all the fights for this weekend. There might not be UFC this weekend, but we got a lot of fucking fights. There's like over 35 fights this weekend, so a lot of money to be made.
I love it. And Dan Kelly's same game parlaying Pell's money line and Murphy over 3s.
I don't blame you, man. I did a parlay on the show on the Pub. I said Curry 30 plus, Trey Murphy over 2.5 threes, and the Warriors money line, and it was like plus 350, and it ended up cashing.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Thank you for rolling with us, Brizzy. You can catch Brizzy here every Thursday. Keep up the great work, my man. And I will be in touch. And follow Brizzy at gettingbills_. Follow him on Twitter as well. Get that cash, man. Thank you for running with us. There he is, Billy Brisbane. Thank you, guys. So, yes, Mike M says, can you toss the -1 calculator? It is, I got to pull it back up because I had to restart my computer. I'll get that here in a second. Okay, thank you guys all for your patience. I know there's only one thing that we really want to do right now, and we can finally do it. So thank you guys. We had some paperwork we had to get through. It is now time to talk about the sport that many of us love more than any other. For me, it's still horses, but and our guest. We have the stars of our 2 baseball shows joining us. Say Hey Play Star is going to cap the whole card with me on Thursday. He's going to take a break off of Say Hey Plays on Thursday and just cap the card with me every Thursday. And then we have Sharpie, star of his Prize Picks show, the Balking Dead show. He'll be joining us at the end just to promo a little bit about his show. But it's time now for baseball. Opening day of baseball. There might not be a more exciting day of the year. All 30 teams have a little bit of hope, except for, the Pirates. And the team the Pirates are playing. But we can talk about that later. Let's bring on your next guest, the producer of this show and the star of Say Hey Plays. This is his favorite day of the year. Please welcome Jose Sweet Tea Tits Bouquett. Jose, you must be pumped up.
Yeah, exciting. A good day. It's baseball day, obviously. Opening day. It's going to be a lot of fun talking ball with you, Jim. I've got my L-Max hat ready to go. Got my Red Sox spring training hat or jersey, shirt, whatever this is called. And I've got a lot of action. So it's going to be an interesting day, to say the least.
A very, very interesting day. Let me just get my run line calculator up here for those who have asked for it.
I said it in the chat already, so you don't have to worry about that.
We put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Sorry, I'll just fire it into. I need to get it anyways. All right, here we go. Hunter Engelhardt says Jose is going to make me laugh today. I can feel it. He's not even here for the insights.
Well, Hunter fucking hates me. I think Hunter just has a. Hunter doesn't like me. He doesn't. I know he doesn't like me. He doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. I'll make him laugh one day. But Hunter, I'll show him something that I'll make him laugh. Wrong arm. I just showed my wrong arm. There's a Red Sox tattoo for those who are always interested in asking me. Yep, there it is. It's looking great as always. Healthy as hell. So.
Oh shit! I lost him. I didn't mean to do that. That was a real accident. Okay, let's get to work.
Let's talk futures.
Dan Kelly says, "If you don't like Jose, I don't like you." That's what Dan Kelly says. He's got your back.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. But I want to hear your futures because you moved on 8 of them. You said
I did. I moved on 8, and no division bets, no World Series bets, and no conference or no conference. Nothing.
Yeah, I haven't made. Well, that's a lie. I made one Red Sox future. Those of them to make the playoffs, but I haven't made any other futures as well. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I don't think I'm going to make any because I realized last year that they kind of affect your cap. So
I honestly didn't see a ton of value. Honestly, like I was looking like, where are the big prices? Like, where are the teams? Like, do I want the Blue Jays at 9-1? Do I want them to win the division at plus 175? Do I think that because Altuve is not on the Astros that the Mariners are live at plus 300? I was like, I mean, where's the cash? Like, I just now we'll find it during the year. We'll find the spots during the year, and I set the date for the Blue Jays for June 23rd. That's the day I expect to move on the Toronto Blue Jays. They have a tough opening start, but let's go. I'm on the. Well, first off, I should tell you that I didn't move on the Red Sox.
Oh, what the hell!
I couldn't press the button. I was like, just the fact that Kluber was starting this first game. I was like, you know what? But I like it, but I didn't move on. But how about we start with the Yankees under 94.5 wins? I know everybody's very high on them. I got the under 94.5 at plus 100. Billy Friedrich, you'll be happy to know I'm on the over White Sox wins, over 83.5 wins at minus 110. Tristan McKenzie was the final straw there, where I was like, with McKenzie out, I almost moved on the White Sox to win the division, but then even at plus 150, I mean, I don't know. I think you can get a better line during the year. I moved on the Mariners over 87.5 wins. The Angels under 81.5 wins.
Oh.
The Rangers under 82.5 wins. The Phillies under 87.5 wins.
Good. Fuck.
And then I was okay. I was content. And I kept working on the card. I was like, no, I got it. So then I moved on the Royals over 69.5 wins. And I moved on the Blue Jays over 91.5 wins.
I will say the Royals have claimed a lot of victims at Pub Sports Radio. I'm pretty sure Jeff was on their over last year, and that's not cash. So.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah, it says so. The Royals are definitely a popular team on Pub Sports Radio, and then throughout the year, it just comes down, down, down. You know, it's funny, Jim. You're going with the White Sox again, which is hilarious to me after your White Sox bets last year. I'm going with the Twins. I like the Twins in that division. If I had to make a future, it'd be the Twins to win that division. I don't really have any other ones that really appeal to me, like you guys were saying, and the price isn't that great. But I like the Twins a lot this year. And shout out to me, by the way. I don't know what I would be called. I guess good ex boyfriend. I don't know. I gave Helga's dad a present for his birthday, and it was a Cubs future ticket to win the World Series. I think the Cubs are going to be a good ball club this year.
You just did that recently?
No, this was when we were in Vegas. Okay. When we were in Vegas in Christmas time.
No, that works. You're not a good ex-boyfriend.
Well, I think the Cubs are going to be a great team this year. I think they can make the playoffs. Well, great, obviously tempered. I think that they'll be a good team, and I'll be betting on them throughout the year. So we'll see how that goes.
I can tell you what you were. You were a below-average boyfriend.
That's absolute facts. Below average, it says a lot about me.
Okay. Fanatical Jim says White Sox about to go on Jimmy's ski mask list.
Yes, they are.
I think
yes, they are. And Razor's catching up to some fucking Pub Sports Radio T. Come on, Razor. Keep up.
Okay. So, oh, wow. He didn't. Razor behind on the times. Okay. So I've given you my futures. Let's hear yours.
Yeah, it's just the Red Sox to make the playoffs at plus 300. And I haven't bet on anything else. And if I had to make anything else, I do like Pirates win total over. I do kind of like the Oakland win total over.
Can you believe the Tigers win total is 1? Oh, and I have every win total down. We'll talk about we'll go over ahead of above the Royals.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in the Tigers either. I watched Eduardo Rodriguez get fucking crushed by, I think it was Team Nicaragua. Just got tattooed for the first inning, and I was like, all right, well, we'll see how that goes. No, I'm not a Tigers guy. Eddie Rodriguez, who knows? I love him, but who the fuck knows what we're gonna get? We might just fuck off for half the year for more personal issues. So
that was strange. Piker has a future for you. Can we hear from you guys? I do not think so at all, DG. I think it's crazy to me. Just absolutely nuts that Detroit would be ranked better. Can we hear your futures in the chat? I would love to copy and paste them. I have a separate spreadsheet just so I can kind of go back and see how you guys are doing. So let me know what your futures are here. And I've got not a spreadsheet, excuse me, a separate worksheet. So I love it. So please, Garrett Cole most wins for Marcus Ryan. We will copy and paste all of them so that we can talk about them throughout the year. Okay, Jose. You did excellent at the World Baseball Classic. Great work.
Thank you.
Are you ready to cap our first game of 2023 Major League Baseball?
Yep. Stayed up till 3 a.m. capping. So we're back. We're back.
I did as well. Let's get to work. And I have the spreadsheet play today. I have, and Sky Dragon has Toronto over, Philly under. He's got Cleveland under 2. I thought about that. Let's. I like
Cleveland, but the Tristan McKenzie thing is an issue for sure.
And you look at that pitching staff without McKenzie, so I'll be able to still bet that even when games start, right? Just before the Cleveland game starts.
Yeah. I think it's all depending on your books, obviously, but yeah, I think you'll be able to bet that before their game.
Okay, let's get to work, you guys, and thank you for your patience through NHL and NBA. I know this is what we all want to talk about, so let's go. 1:05 p.m. Eastern, the Atlanta Braves last year, 101-61 and 46-35 on the road. They look very good. Washington Nationals, 55-107, 26-55 at home. Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. So let's bring up all of the things that I need and used last year to be successful. And first off, what we need is the weather report.
It was nice pulling up Swish Analytics again. I was like, look at this. We're back.
I even went back and checked daily baseball data one more year. I checked it out one more year. I was like, maybe you guys come back. But even though Swish is great. Okay, so we got the opening day lineups. When the season goes on, we're going to want to know home and road splits. We're going to want to know lefty-righty splits. We're going to want to know all of these things. But right now, we'll settle with lineups, weather, where the cash is, where the money is, and what the lineups do against the opposing pitchers. Things will change. By the way, Atlanta's team or win totals at 95.5. The Nationals is at 59.5 this year. Max Fried going up against Patrick Corbin. In your wildest dreams, did you think Patrick Corbin would be the Nationals' opening day starter after going 6-19 last year with a 6.31 ERA and a 1.70 WHIP?
I did. Fucking ring that contract, baby. Get all those innings you can from that fucking horrendous contract. We need it.
Max Fried is excellent. He went 14-7 last year, 2.48 ERA, 1.01 WHIP, 185 in the third, 170 Ks, and 32 walks. Let's look at the matchups here. Against Fried, we don't have – let me make sure that these guys are in the actual opening day lineup here before I start waxing poetic on what they can do against Fried.
That is my least favorite part about Baseball Savant. Obviously, you can go to probable pitchers. You can see all their matchups, but they don't fucking take the, like, non-starters on there. Like, you can get –
It's annoying.
It is they have a 2-for-3 spot for Max Fried on there as well. Shout out to him.
Robles is the only one who's being able to get to Max Fried, who will be in the lineup at 360. Everybody else gets touched by can't touch Max Fried, I should say. On the other side, against Patrick Corbin, there are some monster numbers. Let's talk about the lineup. Acuna, Olsen, Riley, Albies, Murphy, Ozuna, Harris, Darno, and Arcia. And it's a very ugly lineup for the Nats. Lane Thomas is batting leadoff. Meneses, Joey Meneses, DH. Candelario, third base. Got Smith, Ruiz, Call, Garcia, Robles, and Abrams in center field. Let's take a look at the line history here. Again, it is cold, 48 Fahrenheit at first pitch. It's blowing out at 6.9 miles per hour to right field. Gets up to 7 miles per hour. So it's blowing out to right. Picks from Dave says everybody is on the Braves next. Is this a price that you are interested in paying, Jose? Let's move over to the price and the cash, and then I will leave you to your delivering the goods for us here. The Braves at Pinnacle opened up at minus 229. They're now minus 240. The total opened up at 8. It is now at 7.5. And when we get to the cash flow for this spot, God, too many things open here.
I know how many tabs you have open, too. You've got tabs from fucking 3 years ago still open.
Well, my computer shut down right before. It's just too much open. So let's just take a look at the cash flow here. I guess you could say that's a decent price for the Braves. You have 95% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Braves. And from a total perspective, you have 53% of tickets and 80% of cash on the under.
Jeez.
That's not how I want to start my MLB season. Is it how you want to start yours?
Yeah, actually, this is the Say Hey Minute. Shout out to you, your lovely idea. I cap a game the night before, or I guess that night, and then I make a video and post it. Shout out to YouTube Shorts. This was my play. First game, obviously, and I took Nationals team total over 3, Jimmy. I actually I took over 3 on our friends at Bovada, and then with my local, and I, we don't reference lines from our locals, whatever, but I got a 2.5 at minus 123 that I bet again. And obviously my bets in my local mean a little bit more to me because you know how that goes. But yeah, I just think the Nationals can put up some runs here, and 3 for the full game is kind of ridiculous. I'll be honest here. Max Fried, he's pitched okay against the Nationals, but it's not been anything too phenomenal. Early on in the season last year on April 13th, I've got to remember my dates for months, but April 13th last year, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. On the 6th month, which I think is July, if I'm doing this correctly, whatever, he went again, 5 2/3, 4 runs. he's not even a particularly fast starter as well. I'm going to pull up his – I should have done this while you were talking, but I'll pull up his game logs from last year as well. And that's kind of what I did for these Caps. I just looked at how these guys pitched against their team last year, et cetera, because I would say a majority of these rosters, at least offensively, are kind of the same. The Nationals are very different, I would say, as I say that, but now they at least have adults. Like, they've got baseball players on their squad now, and it's still early, so I still think the Nationals can come through here. His first 2 starts last year, Max Fried, 5 2/3, 5 earned runs, 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, 3 runs there. That was the start against the Nationals. So I just think he gets touched up here. So I'm not going to go with Nationals money line here. I'll just eliminate the worry about Patrick Corbin, and I'll take Nationals team total over 2.5 or 3.
Yeah. Did you tweet this out?
Yeah, I tweeted out the team total over 3 at +105. So I can take that for record-keeping purposes. No problem. Luckily, I tweeted all my plays that I have so far officially, except for one, and we'll talk about that. You referenced the teams off the top, and we'll talk about that very soon.
Over 2.5, -113 at Pinnacle. It's -115 at Bet365.
Wow, you're getting -115?
Yeah.
What a sicko. I fucking hate
my
my
life. I think this is a real sneaky look to start the year, Jose.
It's my favorite thing I've been betting in baseball. I don't know if it started during the WBC, but I was doing it a lot during the WBC. Just underdog team totals. They're always super low. It'll be like a 3.5, 3 full game. I think that's just kind of ridiculous. And again, Max Fried's good, but he got touched up for at least 3 runs in every start against the Nationals last year and has not started off well. So I've seen everyone on the Braves, like people are mentioning, and I guess I'm glad that I'm on the Nationals. So,
wow, that is a real sneaky way to start the year.
Yeah.
Sharpie says contract year for Max Fried. Better starter, better pitcher, better bullpen. Give me Braves -1.5 at -140.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Braves were 5th against lefties last year. Weighted runs created plus wise 118. And I'll say this, they use weighted runs created plus because it's very easy to understand. 100 is average, so you're 18% above average there. While the Nationals against lefties, 24th, 90 weighted runs created plus, 10% below average. However, again, I think this Nationals lineup is just better. They've got professional athletes on their team now. And I'm not a prop guy. Shout out to our guy Sharpie, and he'll talk to us about props later in this show, but Joey Meneses was dominating in the WBC. He's been hitting the cover off the ball in the short amount of time he's been up. So maybe you look towards a total bases over there, but I'm sticking with my Washington Nationals team total over at 3.
Wow, I love the way you're starting out the year. I find that extremely interesting. And I have 35 minutes to decide, because remember, for years I didn't tail your action. And starting off right off the hop, am I going to tell your first play of the year?
We might as well.
I like the look a lot. Lou Chase Fox says he's on the opposite side of Jose and he's feeling good already. So I'm not okay. Let's keep rolling. Because we have another 14 games to get through. But I'm extremely interested, and I now have 34 minutes to decide if I'm going to join you. And can you? I really want to help promote the 1-minute videos. I didn't know that you did one, and I love that you're doing them. So,
yeah, it was your idea. So shout out to you, and shout out to the 1,000 views that the first one got. It's the same thing as the WBC minute, guys. It'll be on our YouTube shorts. So that's where I started off giving Nationals team total over 3. I kind of figured everyone would be on the Braves, so maybe a contrarian pick, et cetera. But I've bet it with my local. It'd be really nice if I won, because again, we all know what betting with your local and betting on credit is like. So
it's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. I don't do it often. Luckily for me, I've still got some Japan winnings, so I'm doing it to start off this year. And if it goes poorly, I'll just go back to my friends at Bovada and bet online. But yeah.
Nilo in the house. It's Nilo's birthday. OG Lowbagger since day one. Happy birthday to you, Nilo, my man. I hope you enjoy it. Great guy. Happy birthday, Nilo. Let's move on to the next spot popping off in 33 minutes. God, I'm so close to running with you on this, Jose. So close.
Well, I mean, and you can fucking take a guess of what I'm on in this game. I mean, this was the easiest play of the day for me. Just not even because I think it'll win going away. It's just automatic for me at this point.
I know there's a pitcher on the mound here that you detest, and that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, he's actually my second least favorite baseball player now. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Yeah. The shortstop that plays in Philadelphia has exceeded those ranks, unfortunately.
Yankees open up at minus 162. They're now at minus 167. Just 5 cents of movement for these New York Yankees. BJ has put $500 on the Yankees to start his season off. Yankees win total is at 94.5. Hopefully, Nut Flush Allen is in the chat. I moved on the under win total for the Yankees. I have all my notes from the season preview, but I just don't think it's that good of a baseball team. And so many people think it's a spectacular baseball team. And we know what happens when you sign players off career seasons. It hurts you. And I expect Rodon to have a poor season.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, he's already out for fucking half the year now. So,
but I mean, that's what it's just the dumbest thing you can do in sports. If you have a player who has a career season in their contract year, you thank them for what they've given you and you shut the door. Giants 81-81, 37-44 on the road at the New York. I mean, it's just. I'll
get you going. We'll start talking Canucks next.
No, I don't ever want to talk about until next year. But I don't want to hammer some of this stuff home. But
the offense is not that good this year for the Yankees. It wasn't as good last year. Are we going to get 60 home runs from Aaron Judge again?
No.
Who knows? Mike Stanton's always perpetually hurt, so let's see him do that. I am concerned that the Yankees' youth is going to help them.
Sure.
Volpe has been apparently the talk of the town, but I've seen a picture of him as a 12-year-old wearing the U.S. stuff, and that's immediately just fires me up. That's just a great way to get me to hate you just so quickly. But Jimmy, I'm on the Giants. I'm on Giants money line. Just plain and simple. These teams have not really faced each other in a long time. And by these teams, I'll say, I guess these pitchers never faced the Yankees, never faced the Giants. Shout out to Mike M, who put a little stat there that Kermit dominates the NL West. 15-1 straight up against NL West teams. But I'm using Nutflush Allen here, who has bet the team total over on this Giants team. I didn't even bet that. I need to, actually, thinking of that now. I'm actually getting 81.5. I think that's why I didn't. He gave out 80, but whatever. I think this Giants team can be frisky. I thought it was the most obvious regression season last year after they just surprised everyone. I thought that was such a great look by Nut Flush. I think I think there will be a better squad this year. And offensively challenged squad in the Giants, sure, but we're in the Bronx with the wind blowing out to the short porch. And Garrett Cole obviously gives up home runs like it's his job. So I took Giants money line here. I got plus 156, I believe. Actually, I got this plus 165. Just kidding. Plus 165. And I should have done, and shout out to my man Pete. I thought about this after I hit submit on the bet. I should have made this a -1. This -1 would probably be like what? Plus 300, plus 200 around there.
It's funny.
I just think that's the way to go now for bets on baseball now. -1, -1.
I agree, and I find the Coors Field fade very appealing this year as well. So we have Logan Webb going up against Garrett Cole. Logan Webb, 15-9, 2.90 ERA, 1.16 WHIP last year. He was very good at home. He sometimes would struggle on the road. This might be a tough part for him. Garrett Cole, 13-8, 3.50 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 257 Ks and 200 2/3. I have locked you in with the Giants money line at plus 165. Here we have 78%. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong. We have 78% of the tickets on the Yankees and 62% of the cash.
Good.
So that you're 22% of the tickets and 38% of the cash on the Giants, is a spot that I find quite appealing. Then you have 48% of the tickets and 78% of cash on the under. Let's just discuss this total here briefly. This total opened up at 7.5 2 days ago, almost about 46 hours ago, and it moved to 7, about 18 hours after it came out at Pinnacle, and now it's at 6.5. Let's discuss the weather.
Wow, it's at 6.5.
It's now down to 6.5. 42 degrees at first pitch, 12.3 miles per hour out to right field.
Yeah, that's wild. I know Logan Webb and Kermit Cole are very good, but it's blowing out to the short porch. I'd lean over there, but I have not bet that. I'm just on the Yale Giants. So
is excuse me, Von Polo in the house. Is anybody else? Von Polo is on Giants plus 1.5. We have an overlook from Jarek White.
Yeah, there's another guy. I forget his name already. S-O-T. I don't know how to say your name, my guy. Sorry. But yeah, he's on the Giants as well. And by the way, your man Fergie Jenkins on the Cubs pre-show right now.
Oh, dope.
I thought he was dead. So good for him.
Yeah, he is our greatest Canadian.
You got a lot of those.
No, he's it.
That you toss that phrase around a lot.
No, I get John Candy,
SGA, Masai.
Shea's not our greatest Canadian yet. Shea's got some work to do.
Well, I wish I could. It's timestamped the other day when you said that. So you throw that around a lot. I love it.
For me, it's between Norm Macdonald, John Candy, and Ferguson Jenkins. I find this a very interesting spot here, and
that's hilarious.
I wonder if I'm gonna stay off this spot, but 6.5, man.
Andrew G. I figured out who Jim Candy was from Jimmy. God, Jimmy showed me who it was.
There's Jeff Slaughter riding with Jose. Nationals team total over 2.5. We lose. Okay. We lose. You clean the studio though.
Fair. Done.
Okay. Lineup: Wade, Conforto, Flores, Peterson, Yastrzemski, Estrada, Crawford, Sable, and Perez. What is your thoughts on the San Francisco Giant lineup just moving forward for us? Do you believe that they have speed, but do you believe that they can create offense? And do you think Wade's going to be a monster this year? Because some do.
I don't think he's going to be a monster. No, I think he'll be fine. Like a 3-WAR player. That's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's a good player. He's not like a 5-WAR player or whatever. My guy, if I had to be looking at the lineup and really I guess the guy that will decide how their offense goes for me, and I have the fucking tattoo on my arm, so obviously you guys know where I'm going with this one. Yastrzemski, Mike. I think he's a free agent soon as well, so on top of that, he needs to have a good year for that. But I think he needs to have a good year for this Giants team to be relevant. So I like Mike. Jock's interesting. I don't know what to expect for him, but I know we don't do props here. Shout out to Sharpie and shout out to Conor Mac for the Jack of the Day. But I could easily see Jock Peterson getting a hold of one today and sending one out. But we'll see what happens.
Your thoughts on and then we're going to move on to the 2:00 games. Your thoughts on Volpe at shortstop for the Yankees, the surprise making the roster, and your thoughts on the back 3 of this lineup, and even touch on Donaldson expectations for him this year.
Volpe, like I said, I think he's actually going to be good, which is going to be sad for me. I was hoping that they wouldn't put in both of their young guys because the Yankees they're overpaying a bunch of old dudes like Aaron Hicks and guys like that. G.J. LeMahieu washed now, but he's figuring it out, whatever. But I think Donaldson's going to be good, or at least better. I have too much respect for Josh Donaldson, former MVP, for him to just roll over and shit the bed again. The New York fans obviously get him going too. So I think he'll have a decent year as well. But Glaber, Osvaldo, one of my least favorite humans, Jose Trevino, shout out to him. And Volpe will definitely decide how this lineup goes as well. But I do think that Donaldson has a decent year. Well,
I just bet your team total over 2.5 minus 115.
All right, well, we're riding. We are riding. And by the way, I don't know why YouTube is doing the holding comments.
Yeah, nobody turned it on. I've checked. I've double checked. It's not turned on.
Yeah, I think that might be just a general YouTube
It's a YouTube thing. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Okay, let's keep rolling. I'm not moving on this game, but as you guys know, I'm on the Yankees under 94.5. There's Top Set in the house. Nasty Nate. Okay. And Hunk on the Heart says that you dislike someone more than me. That makes him feel better.
Good. Yeah. No, I mean, Hunter, let's be honest. I hate Mr. Gogster, obviously. So don't worry. You don't have to worry about that. It's Mr. Gogster at the top and then everyone else at the bottom. My hate standings. I'm
just gonna set an odds table here because we're gonna talk about Jose's beloved Boston Red Sox here. Let me just get this confirmed because they weren't giving me a confirmed lineup for the O's, and now I have one. And Cedric Mullins leading off there.
Fucking can't escape that guy. You fucking cannot escape him.
Do we still have that clip?
It's not even. I don't think it was a clip. It was just a picture of the guy. No, we don't have.
We don't need to. Let's not stay focused, but we'll get our baseball stuff up here soon. Shout out to Alex Hills. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Looking for a no-run first inning parlay from Jose. Alex Hills. Thank you so much. Armchair MMA says, "How do you feel about Kids in the Hall?" I love Kids in the Hall. I got to do improv a bunch of times with Dave Foley at the Rivoli in Toronto, maybe 10 times, and I love them. They're great, funny, outside the box.
I thought we were talking about like your kids in your hallway.
No, I know. It's okay. Let's stay focused here. 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles 83-79, 38-43 on the road to Boston Red Sox 78-84, 43-38 at home. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's take a look at the weather first.
Windy
and foremost. I gotta have this better set up. I'm gonna do.
It's the first day. It's the first day for all of us. We'll figure it out. You know,
I gotta do some house cleaning in here and make this set up better. But you're right.
And if it makes you feel better, I did all the graphics, and of course, I forgot my favorite team's graphics. So I'm making that as we speak as well. So
it is very cold, 39 Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing out to right field. 15 miles per hour, high of 15.2, low of 14.7 miles per hour. Adley Rushman, this is a really tough young team. Santander, Mountcastle, Henderson, Urias, Hayes, Frazier, and Jorge Mateo at shortstop. For your Red Sox, Verdugo, Devers, Turner, Yoshida. A lot of high hopes for Yoshida. One of the thoughts on Yoshida here, which I thought was wild, but there's an expectation that he could hit 300 with 20 homers and a 375 on base percentage. If he does that, I mean, that's just mind blowing.
Just give him the Rookie of the Year now. Yeah, no, we were talking futures earlier. I like that one as well, but obviously biased.
Tell me about the first baseman for the Boston Red Sox.
Tristan Casas. I'm excited for Tristan. He's the most hyped prospect we've had in a little bit, especially fielding. I forget what overall pick he was, but he's a weird fucking guy, and that's easily my favorite part about him. He's kind of just like go with the flow. Like he's just a professional baseball player, professional hitter, and I really like him. Example of his weirdness, he paints his nails or whatever. Like people in Boston have been freaking out about that. So I might paint my nails at some point this year, by the way. So there's your heads up on that.
Yeah, people in Texas will be much more open to that.
Yes, exactly. But no, I think he's going to have a good year. He's not going to be a Rookie of the Year, unfortunately, kind of guy, because I think Massa is just going to be a lot better than him. And he'll probably hit like, my guess, my ideal situation for him would be him being a 250 hitter, hit 25 home runs, and just walk a shitload because he's a very patient hitter. But we'll see what happens.
Boston opened up at minus 125 at Pinnacle. This got down to minus 113, and it's back at minus 121. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 9.5 and has dropped to 8.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot here. Get this up. Here we go. We have 52% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on your Baltimore Orioles. And then we have 52% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the under. Kyle Gibson going up against Corey Kluber. Gibson 10-8, 5.05 ERA, 1.34 WHIP last year. Last year, the Orioles were very good on the road, surprised us on the road, 38-43, shocked us on the road. And the Red Sox did not have a home field advantage for the first time in quite a while at Fenway, just 43-38. Kluber, 10-10, 4.34 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 164 innings, 139 Ks, 21 walks. I came so close to taking the over 77.5 wins for Boston. I know that our guy Von Polo's on the over 76.5 wins for Baltimore. Jose, the floor is yours. Orioles, Red Sox.
I think the Orioles are the last place team in this division. Now, whether that is 70 wins, 80 wins, whatever, this division is all going to be very good, and it's going to be a fight. And thank God that they included the even schedule, balanced scheduling this year, so the AL East doesn't have to cannibalize itself so much. Here, I'm going to go on my soapbox real quick. I have no play on this game because betting on the Red Sox obviously means bad things for me. But I will say this: opening day starters do not really mean anything. It's just the first guy in the rotation, whatever. Chris Sale's birthday is today, and you know what? I would want to take my birthday off too. So I think this team is going to surprise a lot of people. Jim, you've talked me into it, and you didn't even bet your futures with me. I think this team makes the playoffs. Just overall, top to bottom, I've said this before, I just think it's a better team. You know, I know we lost a fantastic shortstop with my guy Xander, but I just think we've just more complete team, better bullpen, obviously. Bullpen's going to be the best part about this team, and it's not even going to be close. I'm more concerned about the lineup than I am the starting rotation. Nick Pivetta is not going to be good this year, so I'll be fading him most likely. And shout out to him for having literally one of the worst seasons against the AL East in recorded baseball history. He was the 8th worst pitcher in American League East history against the AL East, and that is all pitchers. So that's pretty crazy that he's the 8th worst last year. Ultimately, I'm off this game. I will say Kluber's last starts against the Orioles, because you saw him a lot because he was in Tampa Bay last year. Early on in the season, 4 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks, 4 walks. And then later on in the year, as the Orioles saw him more, he got crushed. 3-inning, 5-hit, 2 earned run. So ultimately, I pass. I do think this will be an over game. I'm surprised that last night this was a 9. And I'm surprised the Red Sox have gone up a little bit. It was -120 last night as well. So I pass, lean to the over, and I lean towards the Sox, obviously.
Piker says you're defending Sale's decision to go have a happy birthday instead of play pro baseball.
Yes, I am.
I'm shocked at it. I couldn't care less about birthdays. It's all business, man. But so these guys have great numbers against Kluber. You got Cedric Mullins off the top, 348. Santander hitting 412. And these are with legitimate at-bats against them.
And so Anthony was on fire in the WBC as well. So I have a feeling that I'm going to overrate WBC players. So everyone keep that in mind as well.
Then against Gibson, you got Devers. There's a reason why Duvall, is going to be in lineup here. Justin Turner, but just not enough at bats. I'm beginning to think that the Baltimore Orioles are the play here. Can you give me your thoughts on Kluber here? What did you think in the spring? What are your expectations of him right out the gate?
He's an innings eater. I think he'll obviously do well to start. And I always have trepidations of fading guys that we know are going to be bad at some point. Example, Patrick Corbin. I'm not going to fade Patrick Corbin for at least a month, and maybe that'll hurt me, whatever. But I want these older pitchers to get worn out a little bit, get some dirt under the nails, get exhausted after their 3rd, 4th trip around the rotation. Maybe the arm fatigue's there, et cetera, et cetera. So I do think Corey Kluber pitches well. He's been the opening day starter for the Red Sox basically since 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Everyone kind of knew this was going to happen. So He knows this is going to happen. And I think that it means something a little bit to him because he's a new guy in the rotation. And Chris Sale's been there, obviously, so who cares? But I don't trust Kyle Gibson at the end of the day either. So if I'm taking the Orioles, I'd take them team total over again as well.
That's interesting. And what about you have no trust in Gibson, so you wouldn't want the first 5, but you really do think the Red Sox have a big advantage in the bullpen, even though the Orioles bullpen was so good last year.
Yeah, I think this Red Sox bullpen is going to be good. I know Kenley Jansen, he's got his reputation for the Dodgers and et cetera, but he led the league in saves last year. I don't think the pitch clock is going to be too bothersome for him. That's kind of been like his whole spring has been getting him to pitch faster, et cetera. And I just, like I said, if it's one thing that a Tampa Bay Rays general manager or former general manager, whatever, can do, it's build a bullpen. So I trust Chaim Bloom in that aspect as well. So yeah, I think the bullpen is going to be better this year for the Red Sox for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe that the team total would be the smarter way to go there for the O's. I'm going to do something with the Baltimore Orioles here. I've just got to figure it out as we go. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, Jose. 2:20 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 86-76, 40-41 on the road last year. At the Cubs 74-88, 37-44 at home last year. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. We talk about Wrigley. We got to talk about the weather. Right now, 39 Fahrenheit and blowing right across the diamond. Going to be a lot of movement from Stroh and Corbin Burns. 11.2 miles per hour right across this diamond. Let's go into the line history here for this one. This one opened up with the Brew Crew at minus 136. There was just 24 minutes ago a 6-cent move towards the Chicago Cubs, so it's minus 130. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 7.5, minus 105 to the over. With the cold weather across North America, it's dropped like all the other games have dropped, and this one has dropped to 7. It's dropped to 7. Let's take a look at the cash flow. Then next, let's have that up next. For the cash flow, we have 49% of the tickets and 58% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers. Totals wise, 74% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on the under. We'll take a look at these lineups. Yelich, Jesse Winker, Adames, Tellez, Contreras, Urias, Mitchell, Anderson, Turang for the Brew Crew. Horner, Swanson, Happ, Bellinger, Mancini, Yang Gomes, Eric Hosmer, Wisdom, and Master Buoni in right field. I'm going to take a look at the batter versus pitcher, but let's hear your analysis. Take it away, my man. Brew Crew, Cubbies.
Yeah, I don't like Marcus Stroman as a human being, but unfortunately for me, I'm going to be betting him today. Someone mentioned in the chat already, his home run splits last year were horrific. 5.18 ERA at home last year compared to a 2.06 on the road. And I think he'll figure it out. I think it's his first year pitching in Wrigley. To obviously a difficult place to pitch, especially when it comes to windy afternoons. He's got one here today. I think that just being there for a whole year, understanding how to pitch there will just be beneficial for him. So I took the Cubs here. First 5, let me double check. First 5 money line, I got plus 120 for them as well. I believe there was in that tweet. But I just, at the end of the day, I believe in Stroman to pick up his shit at home. He had 3 good starts against the Brewers last year as well. Obviously, Corbin Burns is fucking amazing. But I don't know. I guess I might have the arbitration. There we go. The arbitration thing from earlier in the season in my head. Him hating the Cubs and all the bullshit they had to go through. So I'll take Marcus Stroman here, and I'll hope to God that the offense can come through there for a run in Chicago. So I'm taking first 5 money line for the Cubs.
First 5 money line for the Cubbies, and that was plus 120?
Yes, plus 120.
Okay, you've got that locked in. Last thing I want to look at, Fanatical Jim talking about the time that Corbin Burns averaged between pitches, 16 seconds. Are you concerned moving on any unders or first 5 unders until you see a pitcher comfortably handle the new regulations?
No. I actually have 2 first 5 unders on the card already. So no, I'm not actually. I think that the pitchers will figure it out, and it won't be that big of a deal.
What was your concern over the first 5 here in this one? The total opened at 3.5, minus 101 to the under. It's now minus 123 to the under. Is it just too low?
No, I could see betting it. The crosswind absolutely helps. If I wasn't on Cubs money line already, first 5 there, I probably would bet the first 5 under. But I'm not going to double up yet. And I just believe in Marcus Stroman's ability to get outs here. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I might be overrating pitchers because they pitched in the WBC and performed well there. Maybe that is what I'm doing. But he's already pitched well. I don't think Corbin Burns. I think the Brewers in general are just going to be a kind of mad this year. So I'm interested to see what they do, because if I had to bet their team total over, for example, they're like win total over, I'd bet under, because I could see someone like Corbin Burns and maybe like Christian Yelich getting traded. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm off the Brewers bandwagon, and I'm on the Cubs.
I have interest in this 3.5. It's my kryptonite. It's minus 125 total, and the minus 125s, my ROI is negative, and it's just my kryptonite. Okay, Jose's moved on the Cubs first 5 at plus 120, and I'm very interested in the first 5 under 3.5. And I've not moved on the Orioles team total over yet, or the Orioles in any form. I'm still figuring that out as we go. We have an hour and 10 minutes till that. So the Cubbies game is off at 2:20 p.m. Let's go to 3:10 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers 66-96, 30-50 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays 86-76, 51-30 at home at Tropicana in St. Petersburg, Florida. 2 lefties on the hill. We spoke briefly about Eduardo Rodriguez and how he's hard to trust. Very hard to trust. You have Shane McClanahan, who some think can win the Cy this year. Are you as high on Shane McClanahan as others? Tampa Bay win total for the year 89.5, Detroit 70.5. The fact that Detroit 70.5 and the Royals 69.5, I think, is nonsense. Do you think McClanahan is Cy worthy? And then I'll get into the odds.
Yeah, I think he'll pitch more of a complete season this year, because last year, the year before, he got to like 123, 130 innings pitched. Last year, he got up to 166. So, and it's hard to do that if you've never done it before. So I think he'll pitch better this year and have a more complete season, because at the end of the year, he kind of tailed off, after the All-Star game. And I believe there was also an injury in the second half that hampered him. So I think he'll play better here. And I'll be honest, before the Tyler Glasnow injury, I kind of thought the Rays were going to be live to win this division. I don't know if it's just me seeing this ball club fucking pull together every year with spare parts no matter what happens. But I think the Tampa Bay Rays are a good squad, solid squad. Now, the issue, obviously, can they hit, and is their rotation going to be healthy? Because they've had this is the best starting rotation the Tampa Bays have maybe ever had. But you just have to stay healthy. Drew Rasmussen has to pitch as good as he did last year. So does Shane O'Mac. I don't have a play in this game. My first initial lean, though, was definitely towards Ray's team total over here as well. I mean, I said it before. I'll say it again. I watched Eduardo Rodriguez get touched up by Team Nicaragua. Just hard hit balls. I don't trust him. So I take the Rays here, but I'm off.
Tampa Bay opening up at minus 219. They're now minus 229. From a total side of things, opened up at 7, and it's dropped to 6.5. This lineup could be very dangerous. If you get Brandon Lau hitting 7th, if we can see something that, if we can see what we previously have seen from him a couple of years back, I mean, he's dangerous. A Rosarena, he also played in the WBC. If he could, he's shown at times that he can be a superstar. We know that Wander Franco is capable of being a superstar. Diaz, Margot, Ramirez, Betancourt, Siri. Very dangerous baseball team here. Let's just take a look at the cash flow, and then we can just move on if we're not going to touch it. We have 68% of the tickets on the Rays and 43% of the cash. So there is bigger bets coming in on the Tigers at this price, and 41% of the tickets, 76% of cash on the under, and it's dropped a half run. Noli Noah said, had a little fun with the Rays score first inning. plus 225. Rob Free got raised. Tigers first 5 under 4.5 minus 160 last night. Pumped. I got it early, even if it's juiced. I get that. And Rocco Rogers has raised first 5 full game a winner. Sharpie says, I expect another good year from McClanahan, but no way can I say Cy Young. They baby him way too much. It's hard to watch his pitch count after All-Star break. He should be good for 75 plus today. Man Bear Pig is on Tigers money line. Anything for you, or do we move on?
No, we can move on. I've got nothing here for Shane McClanahan's sake. I hope he doesn't get it babied as much this year.
Yeah, I agree. And this isn't appealing here for me, especially in a weather controlled situation with the total down to 6.5. It just doesn't, I don't find it as appealing. Let's move on. Next up for us, 4:05 p.m. Eastern, Philadelphia Phillies 87-75, 40-41 on the road at the Texas Rangers 68-94, 34-47 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Nola and DeGrom. Nola 11-13 last year, but 3.25 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. You know, he looked good. DeGrom, we haven't seen him pitch much over the last few years. I'm on both of these teams' unders. I'm on the Philly under 87.5 wins, and I'm on the Rangers under 82.5 wins. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have these Rangers opening up at minus 128. They're now minus 133. Totals-wise, it's opened up at 6.5 at minus 106. This is the only total so far that hasn't dropped. It's gone up 3 cents. Real Deal Prime says Texas. And Ron Loftus just got on the Reds game over. Make America Great Again is on the Rangers first 5. Joe Yurkovich likes Rangers, Phillies no-run first inning. He's tying that with Mets Marlins no-run first inning. And Robert Franklin is on Rangers first 5. Saturated says not going to start the season with Detroit first 5. No, I'm not. I'm not. So here we go. Globe Life Field. Let's just take a quick look at the cash flow and a touch on the lineups. For Texas, Simeon, Seager, Lowe, Garcia, Young, Heim, Grossman, Miller, Smith. You know, I said in my, our breakdown with Sharpie, I was like, do they really expect to go with this outfield of Smith, Tavares, and Bubba Thompson? And, they're not doing it here, but, that's what we thought the future of this outfield is. I know Adolis Garcia is sitting there in center field, but he's not somebody who maintains health here. For the Phillies, Turner, Schwarber, Real Muto, Derek Hall, Castellanos, Stott, Bohm, Cave, Marsh. Derek Hall batting cleanup, a 27-year-old who's had a cup of coffee in the show. We know that Hoskins is done for the year. What do you think about Derek Hall batting cleanup? Your expectations on him, your expectations on both of these teams. And then let me just get that cash flow up. The cash is not helpful. 43% of the tickets, 44. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Here we go. Sorry. 74% of the tickets and 85% of the cash is on the Texas Rangers. 74 and 85. And this line has moved 5 cents. That's wild. And then totals-wise, 46% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on the under. Jose, take it away. I'm interested in the outlook of this squad, Derek Hall, and if you're making moves here on this game.
Yeah, Derek Hall, not in my book, so I don't have any Derek Hall thoughts. I know that he's going to be the guy that takes over Rhys Hoskins' spot because Rhys Hoskins ripped his ACL, unfortunately. So we'll see how that goes for him. But I just, at the end of the day, I couldn't get my head around this game. I would like to see Jacob deGrom in a new setting first before I bet him. Aaron Nola, gigantic year for Aaron Nola, too. He's a free agent to be coming up, and the Phillies were talking about contract extensions with him forever. They couldn't get it done, so he'll be extremely motivated. I mean, this was just kind of just like an easy, if I'm going to bet this, it's going to be Phillies Rangers under. The stadium helps out too because there's just no fucking offense in that little bandbox. But it was first off under 3, I believe. So that's what kept me off of it at the end of the day. So I'm off this game. But I share your sentiments about the Phillies. I don't think they're going to be as good this year, especially regular season. They're going to try to just back into the playoffs, and you can do that now pretty easily now with 3 wild card spots. And the Rangers, I don't know. I've got a lot of questions about with the Rangers because obviously the main thing is DeGrom healthy, et cetera, et cetera. But the rest of their starting pitching staff's not bad. They obviously went out and bought the whole rotation essentially this year, but Martin Perez isn't bad. Nathan Eovaldi, when he's healthy, is good. Jacob DeGrom, I think it'd be a decent squad. So we'll see how it goes. But just betting on health with a guy like Jacob DeGrom is not a winning bait wager.
I believe the opposite, Johnny Guns. We're all able to decipher the market. We all been around it long enough, and there's no, but I believe that the books are not respecting the cash on the Rangers at all. So my belief, I put heavy weight in Pinnacle, maybe too much weight, but I do not see a belief here or of respect for the market. No action for us in Phillies or Rangers, and I have it queued up for the Orioles team total. I have not pressed the button yet, but I've got it queued up. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board here. That's at 4:10 p.m. And the team that made the most noise in the offseason, the New York Mets. And do we have a confirmed lineup? Had to refresh that. Cruz, Reynolds, McCutchen. Joking. Sorry. What the hell am I doing here? Here we go. Nemo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Kanya, Vogelbach, Escobar, and Narvaez.
That's not that good.
It's not. If you think about the amount of money, it's a good lineup. But for the amount of money that's being invested in this squad, it's not quite as good as one would expect. Their team totals at 92.5 wins. Marlins team totals at 75.5 wins. You have Scherzer going up against Alcantara, and we have 11-5 for Scherzer, 2.29 ERA, 0.91 WHIP, 173 Ks, and 145. And the Cy winner, Alcantara, 14-9, 2.28 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, 207 Ks, and 228 2/3. I don't know what we're going to get from this Marlins lineup this year. Arise, who was excellent in the World Baseball Classic, Segura, Cooper, Chisholm, Soler, Garcia, De La Cruz, Stalling, and Wendell. Let's go over to the cash flow here in the line history for this spot. Line history-wise, let's move over here into movement. Here we go. Line history-wise, this opened up with the Mets minus 117. They're now minus 121. I'm curious to see how much cash is betting against Alcantara at home. This total opened up 6.5 minus 111 to the under. There's been a 17-cent move to the over in this baseball game. And we get to the cash flow here. We have 60% of the tickets and 53% of the cash on the Mets. So bigger bets are coming in on the Marlins. Total-wise, 32% of tickets and 51% of cash on the over. Maybe I should respect the over in this spot. Very, very interesting. Take it away for us here, Jose. Big one, Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I don't hate the over. Shockingly enough in this game. Max Scherzer has pitched well against Miami, but I just think this Marlins offense is a little better. Luis Arias is going to help out a lot. I think he's a good player, dominated the WBC like you mentioned, has played in that ballpark, is now comfortable there, so I like that. But Sandy just did not pitch that great against the Mets this last year. He had a back-to-back against them, 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. That's really good, but it's still 2 earned runs there, so who knows? We've also got 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs for them earned. Hit a good start, 7 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, and then a 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs there. So he's kind of struggled against them generally. So I'll be honest, I looked at a Mets team total over 3.5, even money right now in Bovada. I just didn't pull the trigger. I guess maybe the big bets on the Marlins scare me a little bit. The lineup for the Mets, not that great, I guess. I don't know. Just reading off that lineup just really is not doing it for me. It's just hoping that Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor can do their thing. So I'm off. I'm off this game, but I lean towards the team total over there.
All right, let's just you nailed it. I don't need to go through the batter versus pitcher because we don't want to sit here too long with each game, but I'm very curious what the situation is, batter versus pitcher here in this one. So I'm going to cue it up quickly and go over it because I feel like at this point, I feel like it's pretty sharp on the over here. I think it's a pretty sharp look. And, there are some concerns, but I do not expect Scherzer to go deep today. I mean, we could expect Sandy to go pretty deep, but how many pitches do you think Scherzer throws? 75?
Sharpie knows that better than I do, but Scherzer was going 6 innings in spring training, so I could see him going 6, and same thing with Sandy. I mean, they're already pretty much fully torqued up, but yeah, I would see 5 or 6 from Max Scherzer today.
And you're right. We have some really nice numbers against both of these star pitchers. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm going to be moving on the over 6.5 in Mets Marlins. I just got to see what the juice is associated right now. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 4:10 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Pirates 62-100 last year and horrible on the road. 28-53 at the Cincinnati Reds 62-100, 33-48 at home. One of the things that we've watched is Pistol Pete Loshak work his magic with the Pirates at home. They're not home. Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. People are so high on Hunter Green right now, and I let me just ask you that: do you agree with these thoughts that he could be excellent, elite?
Yeah, no. When you throw that hard, I think you always have a chance. He just needs to, and what I hope they did in the offseason is maybe not throw your 102 so straight, because when you throw it that hard, that straight with that much spin, it just kind of stays up there. Hopefully they taught him some sort of sinker, 2-seam action so the ball can move a little bit. But I do think he'll be a good pitcher this year. Obviously it kind of hurts when you throw that hard, because you can get that ball turned around and hit right back at you or right over the fence that much harder. But I think he has a good year this year.
Mitch Keller is a pitcher that we've talked a lot about. Mitch Helen Keller. A pitcher that I think you can make money on, but I'm certainly nervous to start my season out backing Mitch Keller here. Pittsburgh was set to have 66.5 wins. That's the total on the over-under. The Reds 64.5. Cincinnati opening up at minus 134. They're now minus 132. Totals-wise, this opened up at 8.5 and is now at 8. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. We have... This is the one with no help. 43% of tickets, 44% of cash on the Pirates. 49% of tickets, 62% of cash on the under. Troy Torrance's Hunter Green, baby. That's his biggest bet of the day. And tell me, didn't just say that's on under 4.5 first 5. Hunter said, I didn't want to pay big juice on this game, so I parlayed Cincinnati first 5 money line and Twins full game money line for plus 171. Let's just touch on these lineups here quickly. And they're pretty ugly. I mean, this is just horrific. These teams are just so bad. I didn't even need to. This is a lot of AAA players stacked in this lineup, except for your favorite player in the league, batting leadoff and playing shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates, O'Neal Cruz, and Kutch back in Pittsburgh. So there's some fun. Take it away for us here, Pirates Reds.
This is the play that I didn't get to tweet out. I made it officially. I bet it, and we can make it official here. I'm on the first 5 under 4 here at minus 105 here. Slight wind blowing in as well. Who knows how effective it'll be according to Swish. It says it's moderately effective when it's blowing in, but whatever. Obviously, and Great American's a great hitter's ballpark, but here's my meathead cap of the day, I guess. Everyone probably saw the video of Mitch Keller getting told that he is the opening day starter, et cetera, et cetera. You can tell how much it meant to him. And I just think he comes out here and I think he pitches well. And, let's not forget how the Reds started last year as well. They started like 2-20. It's one of the worst ball club starts ever. So maybe they'll be extra focused and try to come out hot. But I just, both teams are bad. a sleepy Reds game where I'm anticipating there are not going to be that many people there because the Reds ownership has been the most brash and brazen about just shit talking all their fans and not giving a fuck. So I think it'll be a sleepy afternoon, sleepy start. So shout out to my guy Noli. Officially, I'm on the first 5 under 4 there.
And you didn't tweet this one out?
No, that is the only play I have not tweeted out that I am going to make official today. So I will take whichever I can get right now. But first 5 under 4 is what I'm rocking with. And by the way, I'm also I cap the games the night before, and then I write down the totals and wake up in the morning and see how it goes. This total was an 8.5 yesterday, and it is now an 8. So if that makes you feel better, just make that with what you will. But 8.5, sorry, under 4 minus 110, excuse me, is what I'm looking at right now.
All right, you're locked in. You are locked in. All right, let's move on to the next stop on the board, and it is my Toronto Blue Jays at the St. Louis Cardinals. Our guy Kobe Hartman going to be at this game. Blue Jays last year 92-70, 45-36 on the road. I had to take their over 91.5. I think they're a better baseball team this year than they were last year. In St. Louis Cardinals, 93-69, 53-28 at home. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Alek Manoah going up against Miles Michaelis. Manoah is a bulldog. We all know that. 16-7, 2.24 ERA, 0.99 WHIP last year. He's a beast. Michaelis, 12-13 record on a very good baseball team. Surprising, but still 3.29 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. And the Toronto 91.5 wins, St. Louis 88.5 wins. And I thought about taking the Cards under. I thought about it. I was shocked at the opening line of this game. I was shocked that the Blue Jays would be favorite. Were you at the opening line?
No, not really. Blue Jays are a good squad. I thought this would be a pretty tight line. But, I'm also surprised Miles Michaelis is getting the opening day start too. So, the opening day start doesn't matter.
Mike M says Manoah 0-9-1 to the under when priced within 30 cents of a pick'em. Rogue Energy on the Cardinals minus 105. And McElvey, Toronto, first 5 money line. Luchase Fox says Cardinals are nothing. BJ says Cardinals. So it's now minus 104 on either side. This opened up at minus 113. Here we have the total at 7.5, minus 113 to the under. There's been a 7-cent move to the over in this spot. Let's take a look at the lineups here for the Blue Jays. Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, Varsho, Kirk, Belt, Chapman, Merrifield, Kiermaier. It's a good baseball team. But it's a good baseball team over in St. Louis. Donovan, Nootbaar, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, O'Neill, Gorman, Walker, and Edmund. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one and the weather in St. Louis. We have take me a second to get St. Louis up here. And what the hell's wrong with me? Okay, sorry. There we go. 65 Fahrenheit and the wind blowing right across the mound. 14.5 heavy, strong across the mound in this. And the cash flow in the Jays game is 43% of the tickets and 65% of the cash is on the Cardinals, and the market's moving in that direction. Then 76% tickets, 76% cash on the over. Take it away for us here. Ramos just took the Cardinals to win the division. Real Deal Prime on the Jays says they own the East. Take it away for us here, Jose. The Jays up against the Cards.
Tough game. I didn't have a play on it. This will be a watch for me. You're right about Manoah. He's a fucking dog. But no recollection or no previous experience against this team, the Cardinals. Last time against Toronto for Mr. Miles Michaelis, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs there. And also is kind of a home road splits guy, 2.38 home ERA with a 4.10 road ERA. So, maybe I'm leaning towards the under, but Mike M's stat there kind of dissuades me. But I pass on it. And by the way, we had a early hit the Nationals, and they just followed it up with a double play. So shout out to Joey Domenicis. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's okay. We got lots of time there. I find it a very, very, very difficult spot. Abel A, by the way, on Mets Marlins first 5 under. I find it an extremely difficult spot. If I was forced to make a bet on the game, I'd probably take the Cards here. And the total, I don't want to go up against the bets on the over, and it'll be a watch and see for me as well. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up for us, we had the 7 p.m. action, and we have the Chicago White Sox at the Houston Astros. White Sox, Astros. What is your Sunday night game? It's Sunday Night Live game. Is what Phillies?
I'll
Rangers?
double check for us
Phillies,
real quick.
Rangers. White Sox, Astros were at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. I took the over 83.5 wins on the White Sox. I was going to take the over 95.5 wins for Houston. I did not with the Altuve injury, although I still think they're dynamite. Dylan Cease going up against Framber Valdez. Cease 14-8 last year, 2.20 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. Very good. Valdez can be trusted in the toughest situation. 17-6, 2.82 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. Let's take a look at the line history here in this spot and the Cavs.
What an asshole that Aaron Judge guy is. What a fucking dickhead. 1-0 Yankees. Of course he starts off the year with a home run. What an absolute fucking loser that guy is.
We don't have confirmed lineups for the night games at this point. I'll do one last refresh, but we don't have them. So we can sort of let go of it. We have expected lineups. We can talk about all those, but let's talk about the market moves. And the first home run of the year is in, and who better to hit it? So let's go to the cash flow and the lines here in this spot. Sorry, taking me a second. I have just too much up. Here we go. Cease versus Valdez. We have Houston opening up minus 146. There's been a 7-cent move to the White Sox. Total wise, it's opened up at 7, and it's now at 7.5. One of the rare games where we have over cash coming in. You have no help with the cash. 46% of the tickets and 50% of the cash are on the Chicago White Sox. I mean, maybe the market slightly moving their direction would give you confidence if you were on the White Sox. Total wise, 60% of tickets and 80% of cash on the over, and it's gone up half of a run. Take it away for us here, Jose, our World Series champs, taking the field at home against the White Sox.
Yeah, and shout out to Playback as well. This is the Playback game for tonight. We'll be live streaming that. Go sign up for Playback now. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. But yeah, this is our game here. And yes, you're right. It is Phillies Rangers on Sunday. So hopefully we see a double loser there somehow for you. But and also another quick shout out to BJ as well. I got a good laugh. He said, "Don't fade me, Jose." And I was just laughing. I was thinking in my head, yeah, I just stay up late at night. I'm just thinking, how am I going to fade BJ today? How do I fade BJ today? But shout out to you, BJ. That was funny. I got a good laugh out of that. As for this game here, Jimmy, maybe I'm making it a little bit too simple. Maybe I'm getting a little too cute here, but I took White Sox first 5 team total over 1.5. I got it at plus 110. I believe I tweeted it out. I have to double check. But I ultimately, it's just one of those easy caps where it's like, all right, White Sox against the lefty. We know what they do against lefties traditionally. Last 3 years, they've been good against lefties. They were 4th, 119 weighted runs created plus. So I'll test it. I'll test the wheels, 1.5, only 2 runs. Astros, I love Framber Valdez too. One of my favorite pitchers in baseball. I mean, I'm trying to sit here and think of a way that he could win the Cy Young because he's great. And I just think the Astros obviously baby him a little bit and keep him rested for the World Series and playoffs. But I just think that the White Sox can get some runs here. And maybe I should just take them first 5 and not have to worry about, getting 2 runs. Maybe it could be a 1-0 with Dylan Cease on the bump, but I think the White Sox can get it done here. So I'll take the plus money with 1.5.
I think it's a great bet. First 5 team total over 1.5. By the way, I bet the Baltimore Orioles team total over 4 at minus 124. The 3.5 was minus 160. The 4.5 was plus 110, and I'm in. So first 5 team total over 1.5 at plus money, plus 105. You said?
Yeah, and Joe Yokovich brings up a good point about the shift. There's no more shifts, and Framber Valdez is a ground ball, sinker ball kind of pitcher. So makes sense. And obviously, no Altuve hurts. He's a great defensive second baseman. And I don't know, Jeremy Pena is good, but he led the league in errors last year, I believe. So if it was not one, he was two. So I like the Astros. I think they'll probably win the AL again because they're a fucking juggernaut. But give me the White Sox here, 1.5 here.
Yeah. I completely get it. I completely get it. Now, I don't want to. I only want to make moves that correlates completely down, and this is really close. It's correlated to the problem is that I mean, I can use my bet online account with our glorious live betting down in San Antonio. I could just bet it there. So you know what? I'll see what Bet Online is offering. I think I'm going to. Because then just let's get the Astros out of it. What are your expectations on who's the better pitcher on the mound? What are your expectations on Dylan Cease here?
It's a tough question. I guess most people, 9 out of 10 people, would say Cease. He's got the best pitch in baseball right now. His slider was just unhittable last year, so we'll see if he can bring that back again and do his thing. But I saw last year a lot of people betting Dylan Cease to win the Cy Young, and for 2-3 months it was right there. He was on pace, so he's really good. But I have some trust issues with his walks, I guess. So I guess it's Dylan Cease, but the age-old question: give me a game one. Who do I want starting for me in a playoff series? I'll take Framber Valdez.
And Astros against the righty, White Sox against the lefty. You'd rather be with the White Sox first 5 in that situation? Or
at the very least, just to score 2 runs. Both these teams were good against each other's like righty and lefty hand. Astros against righties were 109 weighted or 107. That was 9th. And the White Sox, like I said, were 4th, 119 weighted runs created plus there. So I think the White Sox win this game. It's typically what happens when I bet the team totals. If I'm going to bet on the underdog, I think they can win the game as well. So I'm just a little safe and don't bet their money lines. Maybe I should have done that with Kermit Cole today, but I just think that we have a good enough matchup on the field that we can take advantage of. Hopefully,
I moved on Milwaukee, Chicago Cubs first 5 under 3.5. Those 3 bets: the Nationals team total over 2.5, Orioles team total over 4, Milwaukee, Chicago first 5 under 3.5. Those are the only bets I need to make. Now everything else I can sit with after the show. Jake Burns says, did Cease struggle in spring training? There's been a couple things that have helped me out as I've improved in MLB. I thought I was a really good baseball capper till I realized I did it publicly and I was just ignorant. And 2 things for me. One is I don't care what happened yesterday. And 2, I stopped looking at spring training, studying the spring training stats. There are times where it will help you. I mean, it's not black and white, but overall, it didn't help me. It seemed to kind of set me on the wrong thinking, when someone was getting blown up because they were working things out like it. So I don't care what Cease did.
I agree.
Jeff Slaughter riding Hunter Green with Reds first 5.
And shout out to him. He's also betting college baseball at LSU as well. Jim, did we skip a game, by the way?
Oh, I hope not.
Did we skip Twins Royals? Because I don't remember talking about it, and maybe I'm crazy. By the way, 1-0 Braves. Patrick Corbin already has 40 pitches through 2 innings. Not ideal there for him. But did we skip that?
We must have skipped that. We must.
You just don't want me to talk about my close personal friend, huh?
No. This is all my fault. 4:10 p.m. Twins game. Completely my fault. So let's get after it. My bad. My apologies. A little behind here. Let's get after Twins Royals. So let's get that up here. I apologize for that. Pablo Lopez, Zach Greinke. Let's move into it. Let's get into the weather first and foremost here for this spot in Kansas City. I am on the over 69.5. This blowing out heavy, and it's not cold in Kansas City. So 66 Fahrenheit, 17.3 miles per hour out to left field. Gets up to 17.8 miles per hour. Wow. So wind blowing out extremely strong here. Let's take a look at the line history here. Kansas City opening up at plus 123. They're now plus 133. So, it's actually an 11-cent move towards Minnesota from minus 133 to minus 144. Totals wise, it's opened up at 8.5, and it's now at 9. So this is our third game where the total is moving in the direction of the over. 66% of the tickets, 62% of cash on the over, and that was the money line. 66% of the tickets, 62% of cash is on the Twins, and the market's moving in their direction. And then 70% of tickets and 67% of cash on the over. You are high on the Twinkies. We do have a lineup here for us, and I'm, kind of high on these Royals. Pasquantino, batting cleanup, playing first base. Bobby Witt, Melendez. You got Perez. I kind of like this baseball team, but Kepler, Correa, Buxton, Larnach, Miranda, Gordon, Gallo, Vasquez, Taylor. I'm not as high as others on the Twinkies, but I'm never, and I wasn't last year either. Take it away for us here, Jose. Twinkies, Royals.
Yeah, shout out to my close personal friend Pablo Lopez. I saw my guy Seamus asking if I still stock him. I do indeed. Have not talked to him since his birthday, but shout out to him. And by the way, the Nationals are already committing errors in the field, so bases loaded for for the Braves, and that is okay. It's okay. That's why we take team totals, thankfully. But as for this game here, I didn't have anything. I wish I could say I was going back because I had to play on this game. But I want to see Pablo Lopez in a new environment. I think he'll pitch well here. I think Zach Greinke can pitch well here as well, but the wind's blowing out. That's a concern there. So I don't know. I pass this game. Zach Greinke pitched against Minnesota plenty of times last year. His first start against them dominated them. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run there. But then next couple starts after that, it seemed like they figured him out. 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. A lot of home runs off of him too. So I pass, but I will say this, obviously, I don't know if they have, I'm going to double check the confirmed lineups real quick because Nick Gordon is 7-11 for this against Zach Greinke, and he is in the lineup. So 7 for 11, 2 doubles off of him, and a home run. So if you got to look for another prop there, I would also look towards Nick Gordon props against Zach Greinke, but I don't bet props, so I'm not making that official.
So I'm trying to make some decisions here about how to bet the White Sox. Okay. Excuse me. All right, let's keep rolling. So you are off this spot?
Yeah, off of it, but I lean towards the Twins, obviously, in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I get it. I get why you would do that. All right, we have 4 games left. We have Sharpie joining us for the 4th game. Excuse me. And then we have C-Mac joining us for the NIT Finals. Abel A took Braves first 5 -1. And Dab Fence saying Corbin in serious trouble.
Yep.
Beasy saying bases loaded, 1 out. Under for Razor in the Twins game. All right. I'm going to be quite interested in the Coors Field fade this year. Quite interested in it. And
could you explain to people what that is for those that don't know?
Yes. When at Coors Field, it's taking the dog on the alternate run line. So taking the dog -1.5 with the increased volatility, it's done very well at times. The issue this year is, do you trust the Rockies lineup? And are you going to trust this lineup to win in 8 innings? Because they're going to be the dog a lot of the time. So, but look at what they do at home. I mean, they went 68-94 last year, and they were over 500 at home. So I like the spot here. Eric Rosas, by the way, plus 400 on Salvi. Homer is good value. Seen him at plus 250 at times. Never plays anything under plus 300. And Billy Friedrich says Pablo Lopez has no idea who you are, Jose. Now, but he will. He will.
That's not true, Billy. I think he knows who I am.
I watched The Fan again over Christmas. Have you watched The Fan with Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes? It's Wesley Snipes, right? It's De Niro and Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, notoriously a bad athlete.
Yes, a bad athlete. But when he was shooting Blade, I went to a party at his house, and
Sure,
he is kind and like he lets people, like, he doesn't take the like attention. He's incredibly. He was such a cool. He was great. He was gregarious. He didn't, I respect. I loved hanging out with him. He was. He laughs at your jokes. He lets you be funny. Like he's not like other stars. All right, let's go. Colorado Rockies at San Diego Padres. Rockies 68-94, 27-54 on the road. Padres 89-73, 44-37 at home. Petco Park in San Diego, California. Colorado win total at 65.5. San Diego 93.5. Blake Snell 8-10, 3.38 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. I liked backing him last year. I enjoyed backing him last year. German Marquez was awful last year. 9-13, 5 ERA, 1.27 WHIP.
that's facts.
Let's take a look at the weather in San Diego. The weather in San Diego, 55 Fahrenheit, cold in San Diego. We have 7.9 miles per hour left to right, very slightly out. Goes down to 5.9 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. Marquez, Snell. We have San Diego opening up minus 195 and now minus 211. So 16-cent move towards them. Totals wise, this opened up at 7.5, minus 109 to the under. There's been a pretty big move to the under. It's now at 7. Cold weather, Snell versus Marquez. And at some years, Marquez is very good on the road. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. And then we'll be good to hear Jose's thoughts on this spot. We're at our night games now. Money line, 11% of the tickets are on the Rockies and 43% of the cash, but the market's moving towards the Padres, but there are bets on the Rockies. Then totals wise, 36% of tickets and 72% of cash is on the under. Take it away for us here, Jose. Rockies, Padres.
Another stay-off game for me pretty easily. I think the Padres are going to be one of the best teams in baseball. I think they should win their division. That's another division future I looked at as well. It's plus money, but it's like plus 130, so whatever. I move on with it. And by the way, Garrett Cole with another runner on, he gets another guy out. So 6 Ks for him through 2 innings. I think he'll be perfectly fine with that. Has had a guy on both innings, though. So at least there's that. The Nationals are continuing to shoot themselves in the foot. Patrick Corbin walks in a guy, and then an infield hit brings in another run. So we'll move on there. And I'll just mention of this game. Herman, you mentioned it did not pitch well. 2 starts against the Padres and a back-to-back. 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs. Not great. Pitched an opening day shutout against the Dodgers last year, but I don't know. I just can't trust it at the end of the day. So if I had to play it, I'm taking the underdog just because, price, etc. But I'm off.
And you had no interest in the under 3.5?
No, I did not. I don't trust German Marquez, unfortunately. Not enough.
Okay.
Not enough.
All right, we have 3 more games. Next up for us, now we are skipping the 10:07 game. We're going to close with it because Sharpie is joining us for Angels A's. Next up for us, 10 p.m. Eastern, Arizona at Diamondbacks, 74-88, 34-47 on the road at Los Angeles Dodgers, 111-51, 57-24 home, Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Zach Gallen versus Julio Urias. Urias 17-7, 2.16 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, and look good in the WBC. Is that fair to say you liked what you saw from Urias in the World Baseball Classic?
I actually disagree. I thought he got shit on.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought he got shit on by teams that he should have pitched better against. So
important information because you got to see it. Zach Gallen 12-4, 2.54 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. He was very good to us last year. Let's take a look at the line history here for Diamondbacks, Dodgers. We have the Dodgers opening up minus 165. There's been a 7-cent move against them. Totals wise, it's opened up at 7.5, juiced to the under. There's been a 6-cent move towards that under. 6-cent move towards that under. In Dodger Stadium, it's cold in LA. 49 Fahrenheit, 5.1 miles per hour out to right center. Dies down to 4.7 miles per hour. Mike M says under. Let's take a look at the cash in this one. Oh, sorry. Oh, we're all the way up. Oh, God. Sorry. Gotta get this. God. Okay, sorry. Having some issues with this. And it's going to be a problem. I'll pull up the cash in a second. Why don't you take it away and talk about your thoughts at Diamondbacks Dodgers?
Yeah, I really racked my brain on this one. This was I don't know, I guess it wasn't the most difficult cap of the day, but I wanted to take the Diamondbacks in some form or fashion here. I actually have written down, I lean towards Diamondbacks team total, Diamondbacks first 5 team total. But at the end of the day, I don't trust the Diamondbacks offense enough to go up against Julio Urias here. Julio, who's pitched well against them at several points, but like I mentioned, he got touched up in the WBC. He didn't pitch well against Colombia. I forgot who his other start was against now off the top of my head. I cannot think of it. It's very frustrating, but he didn't pitch well there either. So maybe it's whatever. It's this spring training, glorified spring training, whatever you want to call it, et cetera, et cetera. But I just didn't have enough faith, I guess, at the end of the day in Julio Urias. But I sucked it up. I said, all right, he's dominated the Diamondbacks. Last 2 years, I looked at his starts against them last 2 years. Specifically last year, went 11 1/3 with 2 runs, one of them earned. So I took the first 5 under here. First 5 under 3.5. I'm going to trust Julio. And I'm going to trust Zach Gallen again. Gallen dominated the Dodgers last year. Dodgers lineup that was better last year. I think it's worse this year. And I hope for my sake that he comes out and pitches like he was the Cy Young dude he was last year, because he was phenomenal last year. So I really thought about taking Diamondbacks first 3, first 5, team total, but I just ended up taking first 5 under. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back and pitches. And Sharpie with a great comment in the chat too, saying his velocity was down 2 miles an hour as well. So I need to see it. I need to see it here. So I'm going to take the first 5 under here, and we'll roll, and we'll be able to visualize and keep Zach Gallen in our thoughts for the whole day. Because if he struggles here and his mile an hour is a lot lower than it was last year, then I probably won't end up backing him much. But it's just a history against the Dodgers last year pitching well. We'll be able to see how it goes.
40% of the tickets on the Diamondbacks, 96% of the cash.
That's concerning. That's pretty shocking to see the big bets on the Diamondbacks, but
57% of the tickets on the under and 71% of the cash. So you're in business there.
Yeah, I'm on the first 5 under, Troy. 3.5.
So let's do that. So I'm going to move on the Diamondbacks first 5 at plus money. Jose, you got the first 5 under. What was the numbers?
3.5 minus 105. Yeah, I should take the Diamondbacks, but I'm just pussy apparently. The offense for the Diamondbacks concerns me, and I'll also be interested to see. I assume they're not going to have any confirmed lineups, but I will be interested to see how Gabe Moreno handles Gallen as a pitch caller and all that good stuff. So.
Second to last game on our card, 10 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Guardians 92-70, 46-35 on the road. Seattle Mariners 90-72 at home last year. 90-72 last year, and I didn't bother putting in their home numbers. T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. Let's take a look and see what the weather is like over there in Seattle. 46 Fahrenheit, cloudy. It's not raining anywhere in North America. 12 miles per hour out to right center, out, and it gets down to 10.4 miles per hour out. So double digit out. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have the Mariners opening up at minus 109. They're now minus 116. For a total scenario, we have it opening up at 6.5, minus 120 to the over. It's been a 13-cent move towards the under. Taking a look at cash flow here. 60% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on Seattle market moving towards them. Then we have 45% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the under. Here we go. Bieber versus Castillo. Bieber pitched well last year, and Noli, when I was watching his velocity drop, Noli kept believing in him, and Noli kept getting paid off of him. And shout out to Noli knows here. Bieber 13-8, 2.88 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 198 Ks in 20 innings. Luis Castillo 8-6, 2.99 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 153rd, 167 Ks, 45 wins. Cleveland 86.5 wins. No Tristan McKenzie this year. Seattle 87.5 wins. And I took the over. Take it away for us here, Guardians, Mariners, Jose.
A little breaking news: Justin Verlander on the IL now.
Oh, wow.
Justin Verlander on the IL with what is a very confusing tweet: a low-grade tris major strain. So I don't know what that means. And shout out to us, 3-1 Nationals now. Nationals, get it done. Shout out to the Nationals. Scrappy. As for this game, I'm off this game. It's going to be a fun game to watch more than bet on. I think it's going to be a high anxiety game for those that do. But I like Luis Castillo, obviously. First full year with the Seattle Mariners will be beneficial for him as well. I think he honestly could be a Cy Young candidate. I mean, I think he's really that good. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I don't know. I passed this game. Lean towards an under as well, but yeah, I couldn't get there with Shane Bieber. I like him a lot, but he's always a trade candidate or something for the Guardians when they're pinching pennies, et cetera, et cetera. So I passed. I'm completely off this game.
Yeah, I get that. And you had no interest in fading. It wouldn't be fading Bieber, but betting on Castillo first 5.
I do not. Let me pull up real quick because I believe Bieber actually starts pretty well as well. That was the other thing that I've been looking at. I just want to see how these pitchers end up starting their years usually. Last year, he went 4 2/3 with 1 unearned run there against the Royals. And then kind of a struggle start against Cincinnati, 5 1/3, 2 hits, 3 earned runs. So maybe I could see him getting touched up a bit. But yeah, I just stayed off this game. Seattle's a kind of a tricky cap for me, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about them. I've obviously got a lot of ill will towards Julio Rodriguez. Well, everyone loves him. But I think it's going to be an interesting squad. I think Kelnick will decide a lot about this squad. If he plays well, then I think they can be easily a World Series player.
Well, let's talk about the final game here on the card. I came close to adding the Mariners, but I have not. Close to taking the Mariners. I have not. Next up for us is the final game on our board. That is it. Angels, Athletics. And will the graphic on the bottom go away now because we're going 3-headed monster? Or do we have a new?
I think we figured out a way to have it on there.
Excited to see this new system. Your next guest is the star of our show, The Balking Dead, that you can see here Monday to Friday on Pub Sports Radio, 3:10 p.m. Eastern. We still going with that time? I thought we were, right? 3:10 p.m. Eastern?
Let's find out right now.
Okay. But also the star of the Dirty K-Prop. Please welcome. I haven't seen him in a while. Miss him. Sharpie's Bets in the house. Sharpie, what up? Oh, you're muted, my man.
Muted on StreamYard too. Yeah. That's all right. We got this. I like this build-up.
I'm there though, bro. I was sitting here fucking sweating out that Max Fried, but Max Fried does what Max Fried do. He gets that fucking ground ball. Sit the fuck down. 3-1 Braves. Let's get it, dude. Whoa!
It is
Baseball's
great.
back, baby.
Baseball's back. I'm sure your wallet is thanking the fact that MLB baseball is back. What you did last year got a lot of attention in the industry, and we're all excited to see what you do this year. You put in the work, and you got in the glory, and you deserve it, and you've earned it. Let's talk about this spot here, Sharpie. I am on the Angels under 81.5 wins this year. Angels 73-89, 33-48 on the road last year. A 60-102, 29-51 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Shohei Ohtani, Jose's favorite player. He has an affinity for Asian men. Kyle Muller on the other side. Hard to believe that Kyle Muller would get this start, but this Oakland A's team is sitting at 59.5 wins on the over-under. Let's take a look at the weather, the line history, and the cash, and hear what Sharpie has to say. His first bet here on the board for us. 49 Fahrenheit, 8.8 miles per hour out to right field. Gets down to about 7.5. And we know this is a pitcher's ballpark. Let's take a look at the cash flow here and the movement first. This opened up for the Angels minus 210 and no movement. Totals wise, it's opened up at 7, minus 111 to the under. It's now minus 109 to the over. And let's get to the cash flow on this spot here. Cash flow wise, we have 28% of the tickets. We saw this a lot last year. 28% of tickets and 68% of the cash on the Oakland Athletics. We have an Ohtani start where the market hasn't moved towards Ohtani. Total wise, 32% of tickets and 62% of cash on the under. Here we go, Sharpie. Your first official pick here of, I hope, many on our show. I know you're going to be rocking many on your show. Let's hear what you have to say. Angels A's.
Let's get to it, man. Baseball. If you don't know, you should fucking know. I do this shit. But we only hit at 69.8% in the spring training off 30 bets. We only hit 70% the last 2.5 months last year. I only hit it a combined 65% last year. I don't know what that is, but that's fucking winning, baby. But we're right here on Ohtani, guys. I don't need no fucking stats. Like I say, if you know me, I write shit down, and if you write it down, you remember it. Ohtani owns the A's. Ohtani lifetime career has a 2.5 ERA and 10 starts. If you want to look back to last year, he's got a 1.09 ERA versus these bums. I expect him to go about 6 innings. Yes, he has not pitched any in the spring. He pitched in the World Baseball Classic, had no tags there. I expect them to be pitching him in minor league games and team versus team games to have him ready. So I think he goes at least 6 innings, turns it over to Tepera Estevez. And I got Angels first 5 full game at -115. They have to be up both. I expect them to be up both. And it's not just Ohtani. We know what they do. We know what Rodon does to this lineup. Well, it's a lefty on the fucking mound, and they added Brandon Drury and Renfroe to this lineup, 2 of the best lefty hitters in all of baseball. Go back through last year. They're in the top 10 power-wise versus lefties. So this team's going to rake, and I expect the pitching to be there today.
I get it. I get it. What can I say? I get it. What are you making anything official here for show purposes?
That's my bet. That's official. So it's what I'm on today. It's first 5 full games. They have to win both. It's like a prop and it's farther down, but it's full time, full game. They have to be ahead. A push gets a loss.
And what's the juice on first 5 full game?
-115.
Wow.
I was how I got the Angels down from that 200 mark. I just think I don't want this raked out team total they put out up there. I just think they hit and pitch today. They do what they should do.
I think it's a very shrewd way of knocking down the VIG, man. A very shrewd way of doing it. Angels first 5 full game for Sharpie. Jose, Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet, Angels, A's. You have a move on this one?
I do not. I'm just going to sit back, relax, watch my king go to work here. I said this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I guess now maybe. If I'm making an MVP bet, I'm just going to bet Ohtani to win it every year. His odds are now just so shitty that it just makes it impossible. So I'm off this game. I'm just going to watch the king do his thing. And Sharpie, I hope you enjoy Ohtani. Well, you're a Padres guy, I should say, but I hope you enjoy Ohtani.
So, bro, pound that shit right up your fucking eye hole right there, bro.
We all know where he's going next year, unfortunately. I think he's going to go a little north, maybe, of Sharpie. I wouldn't mind if he was in San Diego.
Right there at Chavez Ravine, bro. He's going right fucking there, Jose.
Okay, good.
I'd be fine. Yeah. I'd be fine if he was a Dodger. I think it'd be good for baseball. Hunter Englehart's on the Angels. Team total over 4.5 at +110. Thinking about taking first innings over 2.5 at +130, depending how early play goes. Sharpie,
if I
do you
could
have
throw
any
one question, if I could not a question, one statement.
Sure.
Don't make your bets prior on how your bets are going to go for the day. If you're not going to bet it early in the morning, let it go. That's just all I got to say about that.
I feel you there. Do you have any feel on what we're going to get from Kyle Muller on this year?
Expect a good year from him. Like, come on, this guy was with the Braves organization. They expected high things of him. I just think tonight ain't going to be his night. I do expect some good outings, though, coming forward from him.
Sharpie, tell us what, for the viewers of the show here that weren't with us last year, because there's a bunch of cappers who are rolling with us of late. What can they expect from the Balking Dead?
You can expect 4 hours of freaking information packed into about 30 minutes or so. Like, it's just nothing but numbers on numbers. At the end of the day, you'll become a better capper by watching it. I'll give you everything you need to know to make your own plays, and then everything you need to know if you want to tail or fade me. But you usually want to tail a guy who hits at the rate I hit.
No doubt about it. Monday to Friday, 3:10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir. Monday through Friday. Take the weekends off. Let Big Show do his UFC and take care of his soon-to-be wife on Sundays.
No, I like that you guys. I respected very much that you guys were going every day last year, but I think that you need to have some rest. I really do. I really do. So.
The shows didn't get as much action on the weekends either, though. So it's like people are watching the games and they don't want to watch a breakdown while the game's going on. I get that shit. I'm here watching the Braves game as we're doing this.
Oh, I feel you. I absolutely feel you. Well, great stuff, Sharpie. I'm excited to watch you rock this year. And you have anytime you want to hop on and do a little promo for your show, give us anything. It's open for you anytime. So anytime you want, just know that you can jump on anytime.
We got a pitching prop today, so you do want to fucking tune in because we're gonna go 1-0 to start the year on our show. So let's get paid, baby. See y'all in an hour or so.
There he is, as Noli calls him, Sugar Sharpie in the house. A lot of love for Sharpie here in our chat. What is keeping you off the Angels here at this price? The bets coming on Oakland, the unknown about Kyle Muller?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I don't know what to expect from Kyle Muller. He's got a high spin rate fastball, which I'll be interested to see. But I think he'll suck, honestly. I don't believe in the Braves prospects that they've sent over to the A's for all those shitty trades. I just don't believe in any of them. So I think he struggles, but I'm off.
Markel, his show is Monday through Friday here on Pub Sports Radio at 3:10 p.m. Good in the house. Great to see you. Good. Late to the chat says Pirates first 5, Blue Jays and White Sox first 5 as well. Astute Chaos says he hates Corbin. Nice to see you, Astute Chaos. Well, we're not done. Let's review MLB action, and then we'll break down the NIT Finals in NCAA basketball. You know what would be cool this year, Jose? Because when we have these big 15-game slates, if we could have like a different banner for just pick review or something. Not pick review isn't right, but if we could think of something cool for when we do the review. Just before I do the review, can you take a second to tell everybody watching a little bit about your show? Say Hey Plays, 5 p.m. East. Well, it changes time-wise, so it's depending on the day. So why don't you give a little promo for your show, my man?
Yeah, so it is Monday through Wednesday at 5 Eastern. Thursday, we take our day off, but no, it does not mean that we do not come on the show or whatever. I'll be on here with lovely James the Bag, and on top of that, we're also doing playbacks on Thursday. Every Thursday, we'll be doing a playback to watch a game together, live bet, etc., etc. Today, it'll be the Astros versus the White Sox game, so tune into the playback. I will drop the link right now, and on top of that, as always, Say Hey Plays every day, Monday through Friday, except for Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. and on the weekends, it is a 11 a.m. start time, so we can cap the cars before hopefully they all go off. So Monday through Wednesday, except for Thursday, Monday through Friday, I should say, except for Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, and then the rest of the days at 11 a.m. in the morning. But definitely come by our playbacks tonight. It's a little experiment to see how it goes. I'm interested to see how many people we get in there. You can watch the games all together. It's a good time. And there is the link.
I love it. Let's do a quick review before we get into NCAA basketball with our guy, Conor Mac. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is the Mets. We have Braves team total over for Moose Money bets. Picks from Dave, play of the day is Braves Yankees parlay at plus 120. Now let's get into our action. Jose and I are on the Nats team total over. He got 3 at plus money. I got 2.5 minus 115. Jose's on the Giants money line at plus 165. I moved on the Orioles team total over 4. Again, I just used the -1 calculator I didn't want the 4.5 plus money, and I didn't want the 3.5 heavily juiced. Again, we have the -1 calculator for all of that. Then Jose is on the Cubs first 5 at plus 120. I'm on the first 5 under 3.5 at minus 125 in Brewers Cubs. Tigers Rays, we stayed off. Phillies Rangers, we stayed off. I'm moving on the over 6.5. So those bets are in. It was a square play today. My bad. Okay, sorry, Mike M. I did see that it said Mike M on top, and okay, that was Mike M messing with Dave. Okay, my bad. Thank you for clarifying that. I copy and paste. I'm a copy and paster. I'm going to be on the over 6.5 in Mets Marlins. Jose's on the first 5 under 4 at minus 105 in Pirates Reds. Stayed off Jays and Cardinals. I'm on the over 83.5 wins on the White Sox. Jose's on the White Sox first 5 team total over 1.5 plus 105. And I've got to decide to tail that or just to take the White Sox first 5. I got to figure that out. I have some interest in the first 5 under in Colorado, San Diego, but need a little bit more time. I'm going to be on the Diamondbacks first 5 while Jose's on the first 5 under 3.5 in Diamondbacks Dodgers. Mariners, I have over 87.5 wins, but we stayed off that spot. Sharpie gave us the Angels first 5 full game at minus 115, and I'm on the Angels under 81.5 wins. And that, my friends, is our first MLB breakdown of the season. A lot of hard work goes into this. And last year we reaped the benefits, and I hope we do again this year.
I reaped the benefits for 3/4 of the year, and it was a great time. And then you came on strong. Shout out to you. But yeah, it's going to be a great year. I am in an immense physical amount of pain right now because I am exhausted from capping, and it is only the first day of a 6-month grind. So cannot wait for all the action. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait either. All right. C-Mac is on his way, but let's get into the NCAA NIT Finals and discuss the situation. I also have to pick up my daughter here in about 20 minutes. So let's fire away and attack. 9:30 p.m. Eastern, the NIT Finals. The UAB Blazers, 29-9 at North Texas Mean Green, 30-7. We're in Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And speak of college basketball, and he arrives from Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Miggity Mac Daddy in the house. C-Mac, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay.
You sound great. We just started introducing NIT Finals. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about for this huge opening day in baseball, or are you going to want to focus here on college basketball? Was there anything anything that interests you?
No, I mean, I think you guys covered it all. No need for a guy like me.
Oh, come on. You're the star. We know your prowess in MLB. You're also the unicorn capper, right? You cap it all. But is there any best bet or anything that you want to share in MLB?
I mean, people already, obviously the Corbin fade of the Braves. I love this last night, and I'm glad it moved a little bit. I think Jose talked about it. I wasn't really listening in the beginning. I took the under first 5, and this could blow up being Cincinnati, but I got 4.5. First 5 under 4.5.
Oh, nice.
Reds, Pirates, and now it's 4. I didn't know it'd go that low, but I like that. I like the 2 dogs. I haven't moved on them, either the D-backs or the Rockies. I just don't know how I'm looking at those. I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking there.
I'm betting Diamondbacks first 5.
Okay.
I'm betting it, moving on it, decided after our breakdown. Right. C-Mac will be our guest. We're working out our schedule, but he will be one of our MLB experts here on betting with the bag. Let's talk about.
I heard Jose. I was hearing it. It was just background noise. Yeah. Just doing shit. Come on.
Nasty Nate says C-Mac is the baseball guy, Jack of the Day King. Let's get into college basketball here. Let's get into to this. UAB comes in off a tough 88-86 overtime victory over Utah Valley on Tuesday as 4.5-point favorites. North Texas comes in off a 56-54 win at home over Wisconsin. Or not at home, sorry. 56-54 win over Wisconsin here in Las Vegas. On Tuesday night as 2-point favorites. It was nuts. They held Wisconsin to 0 points over the last 9 minutes and 8 seconds.
That was something else, huh? Wow.
I still can't believe exactly what I saw. I'm still shell-shocked over that I had Wisconsin a money line. Let's get into the odds here before we get the expert analysis from CMAC. Odds-wise for UAB North Texas, we have North Texas opening up at plus 1.5. They're now plus 2.5. So we have a 1-point move at Pinnacle on UAB. Totals-wise, this opened up at 127, and it's now at 128, and it's juiced to the over at 128. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. Cash-wise, get over to NCAA basketball, and let's go. Cash-wise, all markets. You have 69% of the tickets and 67% of the cash on UAB. The markets moved a point in the direction, so that works. Then you have 41% of tickets and 55% of cash on the under. So you have some bigger bets on the under, and yet this total is going up. CMAC, you've watched this whole tournament. Ski Profit in the house with a guess on where CMAC is going with this one, the NIT Finals. CMAC, take it away.
Well, Ski knows me well, because, that's where I'm looking here. We talked a bit about this on Tuesday's show.
I should also say one thing, and I'm so, I've been here for over 3 hours, but all the records are up to date finally with every capper in every sport. And CMAC, I feel bad that I was late to the table here talking. And at least I'll get to do it again on Monday because we have a live stream for the national championship. So at least I'll get to talk about it again. But CMAC, in a small sample size, has been spectacular on this show. He did one show on December 1st, and then he started doing our shows, I believe, January 26th on Thursdays.
Yeah,
in that time, he's 22-14 on our show, hitting at 61.1%, plus 6.84 units, an ROI plus 19%, an average line of minus 109. And of the NCAA cappers that we have, including myself, all of us, being up 6.84 units is the highest that we have. And he's only done that in 36 games. So
we won on Friday too. I mean, I know you were very drunk. Kind of made me come in and make a best bet there with Pete. So we won that as well. I don't know if that got to be official there.
Did we make that official?
Well, I mean, you asked. Yeah, that's on you. I mean, I wasn't there for the full show. That was the Friday show in San Antonio.
Yeah,
you brought me and Pete in for best bets.
I have no recollection whatsoever.
I know. I didn't.
I apologize. I apologize that that's me. I apologize that I'm that guy.
No, it's good. We're
it was fun.
But if you want to count that one, we'll count it too.
I do want to count it. What was it? Oh, I have it.
It was the under San Diego State.
Yeah,
you have it.
Okay,
you have it.
Spectacular work. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but I want everyone to know how good he's been on this show. Coin says NIT unders are 19-9 so far with the championship game left. And Big Ragoo says Conference USA is college basketball dominance. If FAU rolls on to an NIT championship, says 48-4 home records combined. Tonight, he's on the first half over 59.5. Lucas Ryan saying CMAC is a basketball GOAT. JP says CMAC got the Dodger hat on. He's ready for baseball. But I didn't mean to interrupt. I just would have talked about it throughout the year, but I was a little behind on my stats. So CMAC, take it away. NIT Finals, UAB North Texas.
All right, let's get to it. Like Ski mentioned, me and Babano, because we weren't going to have a show today. You had this going. We just gave what we thought of the winners of those two games. What if? And if I thought it was UAB North Texas, I thought the line would be 2.5, 3. I thought it'd be 3. And automatically I look under. We'll get to all that in just a second. As both the last two games have gone over. But that's where I was looking. Now they open 1.5. It moves to 2.5 here. A lot of love to UAB. These teams know each other so well. This is the 4th meeting this year. The 4th. The first one went under here. North Texas beat them by 11, 63-52. So we got an under there. Then we had this, Jimmy, were you on this with me? February 9th, North Texas wins 82-79 in OT. I thought you were with me on this. UAB plus 2.5. We lost there. I think you were on
a
that.
half point. Yeah, I was with
By
you.
the half point.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off. It's still, you know.
And double overtime.
Yes, double OT.
And we were in control for parts of that. Yeah, it was one of those spots where I got a little overconfident during the game.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, it was burned in my. And then when I was going through the stuff last night, man, I had this circle because I know we're going to talk about it today. And then just March 10th, UAB wins 76-69. That game goes over easily. It's a pace war here, you know. What will be the difference with North Texas? Can they control it in this game? Stay under, you know. Here, you know, that first meeting was at home. They got it done. I still think Perry at point guard. I really like him. I think he's got to score 20 here for North Texas. Top defense. One thing with UAB, they can score so much. Their defense isn't that bad. They just play in a conference where they play a lot of bad teams, but the numbers aren't horrible with them. They just get up and down so quick. We know Jelly Walker and this whole team, how good they are. If this touches 3, I want North Texas, and I'm against everybody here. You know, will this line keep moving? I thought the line got crazy the other day with Utah Valley at 5. I was just like, this is now 5. I get UAB. I thought they'd probably win the game, but they came back in that one. That went to OT, and they lost by 2. I would rather have points than lay points in this game. Just how these two teams know each other. That's how I feel. Real quick on the total, too, in this one. You know, the Orleans, is we talked about on Tuesday, too. This is an over venue for the most part. I mean, that's how you want to play at 60%. You talk about Madison Square Garden for college kids as an under venue. This is an over venue. But we saw North Texas now. Wisconsin is different from UAB offensively, how they just bottled them down. I mean, 0 points, as you said, Jimmy. That must have been hard to watch if you were on Wisconsin there. I think they could do that here. So I just think these teams know each other so well. It's tough for me. I don't want to touch the total. And I'm looking at North Texas. I'd rather just have 3 here to be safe. I just think these teams know each other so well. I think there's a lot of UAB love, a lot of glitz and glamour with this team, but I think North Texas is dirty, gritty, grimy. And I think they're in this.
The 2.5s aren't juiced at this point.
Yeah.
But we see that the public is on UAB. So you're just going to wait it out at this point.
Yeah. Like bookmakers, one book, though, that's already moved to 2 that I see. Let me refresh it, which I don't love.
Yeah, it's at 2 here. I have that as well.
I was hoping this was going to get to 3, and I was just going to pounce on it. And I still might play the 2.5.
But important.
I'd rather.
Bookmaker never moved it to 2.5.
Oh, okay. They never did.
Yeah,
okay.
So
I thought they did.
No, Bookmaker moved it to 2 yesterday at 12:04 p.m. They moved it to 2 at -115 this morning at 6:14 a.m.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought all these books that I was looking at was 2.5. Okay.
1-0 Orioles. I got the team total over 4. Oh God,
Beautiful.
We're back, baby. We're back. So what are you looking at in the total? Is there, because we see it rising and you talked about the under, is there a number that you're looking at that to touch?
I think I'm just going to be off the total in the end. I'm just going to be off. It's moved a little bit. I would rather have seen this been moved a point. This is moved 2.5. You know, it's like 129 now with it's all over money right here that I see. Tickets and the cash. Do you see any like big bets here on this under? Because they're letting it kind of fly here.
Here, from what I've got with public betting and money percentages, I have 41% of tickets and 55% of cash on the under. But the public has the tickets.
Yes.
59%.
Yeah, the tickets are wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Wild. I'd lean under because I like North Texas. I think if you like UAB, but you know. It's tough. I think we go back to that first game, but I don't know if it's enough. And I don't want to go full game in the foul bullshit. If this game's tight, overtime, we've already seen it between these two.
Yeah.
And that means you want to go first half. I kind of want to go that way. I just don't love it. When I don't love a bet, I'm not going to make it. It's 59 and a half. Yeah.
So we keep an eye on the tote. I mean, I'm thinking horses because I know we'll be rocking all day Saturday. You and I. Well, not all. You got college basketball.
Oh, that's short though. I'll be ready to roll.
But I can't wait for the horses. Wild Hound talking about all that. North Texas, if it gets to 3. So if it gets to 3, you'll tweet that out.
Yeah, if I bet it.
Yeah, if you bet it. Okay.
Yeah, if I see the 3 and I'll move, we'll tweet it out. Yeah.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about my Carter's puked all over the car, so I got a couple more minutes than I thought I have here. We're going to be a couple minutes late for Ella. Tell us a little bit about the big show Saturday, and then I'll close talking about our show Monday.
Yeah, big show Saturday, Final Four. 2 great basketball games that I can't wait. It'll be Babano, Cab. We'll be there early, break it all down each way. We'll even get into the props, a little bit in that game and what we like. And then, take it away for Monday.
Yeah, we have a huge weekend. And I should mention Razor's big show, Razor and Cab on Friday night as well. Their live stream. There's going to be – the focus is the Lakers – Timberwolves, Lakers in Minnesota. That's the focus. But Cab's going to be betting baseball live, focusing on baseball live. Then we have Saturday. Saturday morning, our NCAA Pub Hub, and then our horse racing show all day, all night. And then on Monday, we have our NCAA National Championship live bet stream. The game starts at 9:20 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. C-Mac is going to be one of the hosts. He's going to come on a little bit later. We're going to have people going just like we did in the Super Bowl. We're going to have cappers come on one at a time. And then at the end, our 4 main hosts will come and join me as well. So that's Monday night, our live bet stream. Wow, this is so exciting. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat. Robert Franklin, Kenny Ken, Rem Most, Mike M, BJ, Andrew G, Razor Sharp Picks, Troy Torrey, Kong's Clips, Wild Hound, Gregory Simmons, Bo Jackson, Nunya, the Nuke Worker, Coin. Thank you guys. Jarek White. Thank you. Thank you all for your support. Big Ragu, Ron Crawford, Ski Prophet, Lucas Ryan, Jay Peasy. You guys all deserve shouts out. This is very, very exciting. As a channel, maybe you could, I'd have to go over football, but I think as a channel, as a group of cappers, we've never handled a sport as well as we did as a group last year in Major League Baseball. As a group, we just succeeded. And we set a pretty high bar. And I hope to be great this year, because I finally got to be good last year. It's the first time I get to touch, publicly being good. And
He's good. He's good, Jimmy.
I want to be great. Troy Torrance says, "What's your most confident bet of the day?" That's a tough one, and I guess it's 1-0 Orioles. I'd say Orioles team total over 4. But without knowing, game going about to pop off,
how'd they score that?
Was it
Homer? I don't have it up.
Rucci, right? It was Rucci. It was. Let me check this out. I believe it was. Get up here. Sorry. I believe it was Rucci.
Beautiful. There is some talk about the Jacks. There's crazy value early on here. This is right now the time, because as the season goes on, they just suck it out. View these numbers. There was a few in that game that I liked, but I'll throw you one here. Jose Ramirez tonight. He's 5 for 18 with 3 jacks. It's plus 500. And like I said, there's other guys where you get 10-1, I think, on good numbers. Or Lindor. There's a few games. Cronenworth, that Padres game. But take Jose Ramirez, jack of the day. I got plus 525. You can still get over 5-1 there.
I love it. 5-1. You're right. We're not going to be getting those soon. So for me, it's the under 6.5 in Flyers, Senators. I know that it's not Carter Hart in net. It's Felix Sundstrom, but I bet him last game, and he was awesome. And he went into that game 1-11, and his numbers are fine. So for me, That's my favorite bet on the board. Is the Flyers, Senators under 6.5 at this point. We got to put a bow on this. Thank you guys so much. I'd love to review all the action, but I got to go run it and pick up Ella. The show went long. I'm going to try to keep these things tighter as we move forward. But again, the most important thing is succeeding. C-Mac, thank you for making time for us. I know that this show went so long and you had to be so patient. So thank you very much for that. It means a ton to us.
Sure.
And thank you guys for being here and watching. Stro Show with the K, Stro Show on the board. Thank you all, Alex Hills, BJ, all you guys. Thank you for the support. And Jose, great job. Don't forget, in 50 minutes, the first episode of season 2 of the Balking Dead here popping off. And then tomorrow we have our first Say Hey plays of the day. So go out there and get that cash. I got to run. Baseball's back, baby. We were good last year. Let's be great. Let's be great. See you guys tomorrow. We got to start capping again immediately. These are the toughest 2 weeks of the year for me with baseball, NHL, and NBA before NHL, NBA playoffs. Let's get the money. Let's get that cash. Respect. Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. And leche. Hey, Los bookmakers. Milk it.